Alright, so let's go ahead, and I have logged into the still loading. I have logged into Office Microsoft 365 and ExchangeOnline. I'm trying to connect, and oh, I hope you guys are not seeing this when you're loading the admin center. I'm going to refresh this and going for the admin center again. Okay, we're good. And in the admin center, the red square icon, and I'm just going to go for show all here. And in the show all, I'm going to go for Exchange. So ExchangeOnline is opening. Okay, so I'll just go to the... Okay, so ExchangeOnline is loaded here, and hopefully everyone's logged into that. So you can see the Exchange admin center here, the recipients. We had gone through mailboxes, groups, resources, contacts, shared, migration, permissions. We talked about admin roles, user roles, Outlook web policies. Then compliance management, we were actually talking about the in-place, e-discovery, and hold. Other than that, we need to also go for auditing, data loss prevention, retention policies, retention tags, and journal rules. So let's go ahead, and we were talking about in place. Okay, so Amit says, could you explain about switchover and failover and the crash test, please? It was about last week. Yeah, so what is switchover? What is failover? If you want to ask about that. So switchover is that when we do maintenance mode, suppose you want to do patching on Exchange server, which is you just want to install the latest updates of Microsoft that are every month released. So for that, once you deploy the patches on the machine, then you have to restart that machine. In order to restart, you have to switch over. Suppose there are these two machines, and this one is passive and this one is active. So you have to restart the passive. So you patch this machine and then you restart this machine. So that restart is once you restart that, now you need to patch this machine as well. So you have to switch over from active to passive. So switchover is when you are doing the changing of the services and changing of the servers yourself. Failover is that active and passive are there, and active crashes out of accident or incident, and so the services are automatically failed over to the passive. So the difference between switchover and failover is that you have to switchover is you change the services yourself, you change the servers yourself. Failover is that it happens because of an accident. Okay. So, and crash test is what we did in last lab. I crashed the active machine, and the mailbox role was still up and running on the passive. The other passive became active machine. So I crashed the machine which was active, and the other passive became active. So that was a crash test. Brady says, can you provide me the email to log into Outlook? Well, to log into Outlook, Brady? Oh, that link. Okay. So let me check out. So it's just your URL. You can just see this. If you click here, there's Outlook here, right? And you right click there. If it's not like, just go to three dots here and open a new tab, right? So if it does not open like that, so you can just right click and duplicate this, right? The first tab, then go to the dots here when they load up and simply click on top of Outlook itself, and then it opens. So here, but the URL that you were asking was outlook.office.com/mail/inbox. So that's interesting. Login info. So that would be your, let me just show you that as well. It's this. Let me copy that. So if you followed the domain name exactly like this, if the naming format was that, so it should be, just put your first name admin at this domain.onmicrosoft.com. It's already copied that, so hopefully you're able to log in. Okay, so let's get back to where we were, and I'll just, okay, so I'm just gonna go to this Exchange and open it, and we were in ExchangeOnline, and yeah, so we were in compliance management, and in there we were talking about in place and e-discovery and hold. The in place e-discovery and hold is used for if you want to search for any line, any sentence, any statement, any word, keyword inside your email or thousands of mailboxes, so you can do that. And if you find some that you are looking for and you want to place it on hold because of some investigation going on, so you can place it on hold as well. There is auditing, that's the next one here. So for in place e-discovery and hold, we went to actually the compliance management area in Microsoft 365 last time to go for search and check out where it is. Then the next one is auditing, and in auditing you have these are some of the predefined scenarios where auditing is available, and auditing is an activity where with timestamp all the events are saved. That, okay, suppose the admin logged in at midnight and on this date and that time, right? So that audit report will be there that the admin actually logged in at yesterday night at 11:50 p.m. So you can just see that, okay, this time that admin login, suppose you're doing some investigation or some application broke. In that case, you would want to then go ahead and check it out. So use these reports and audit logs to view information about mailboxes accessed by someone other than the owner and changes made by administrator. So these are some of the audit logs for some of the scenarios there. Changes made by administrators to your Exchange organization. You can also export search results to a file. So the first one says run a non-owner mailbox access report, which just means that if the admin has accessed someone else's mailbox, right? So that would be the report there. Some reports will not be available now. There's not much activity that we have done, and the reports and some reports are available. So if you go for run a non-owner mailbox access report, it just means that somebody else who's not the owner accessed the mailbox. So if I click that non-owner mailbox report, and then you can just look for start date and end date. So it shows me 23 November, and then it shows me the end date as today's date. So, and then it says that search these mailboxes or leave blank to find all mailboxes accessed by non-owners. So it would be, if you don't put any specific mailbox, then it would be it will search for any other mailbox that was accessed by non-owners, search for access by administrators, search for access by external users, administrators and delegated users, or just administrators, or all non-owners. So any way, if we click the search, suppose we do access, even right now, an administrator accesses another non-owner mailbox, still the logs will not appear here right away, because logs online appear after 4 hours. So, but the main thing is that if some non-owner access the mailbox, it will simply show you that here that this mailbox or this username accessed this other user's mailbox. So automatically it gets you can't just delete you can't just stop this whole process automatically. The audit log records that who accessed whose mailbox. So I'm just gonna close that because even well we've tested before as well, and I've tested in other colleges as well when I'm teaching that, and we no matter what we do, how many accesses we do, non-owner mailbox audit report just doesn't show right away, but we should understand what it is for. Then the other one is run an administrator role group report. So admin role is actually in permissions. That if I go to permissions, this is the admin roles. So did anyone get added here? Yes, we did add someone there. I'm going to go back to compliance management and then in auditing here and run an administrator role group report. So if I click that, either it will record some activity or it may not. Although we did some activity, so I'm expecting some activity should be showing there. Because we did add Alan Reed to the organization management, which is the top admin role. Yes, so some of the activity that we did is showing there with the timestamp, so the date and time we did that. Compliance management, we added ourselves in compliance management. Organization management, if we click that, so it is also showing user there. In fact, I added your first name 01. So this is audit report showing admin role group. So let's take that screenshot of audit report showing administrator role group. That's our first screenshot now. Audit report showing administrator role groups. That's our first screenshot. So screenshot number 1, audit report showing admin role groups. So I'm going to take that sample screenshot now. So screenshot 1, audit report showing admin role group. Audit report showing admin role group. I'm just going to paste that here, and on the other side in the group, so this is mail server, screenshot 1, audit report showing admin role group. Okay. So that's our first screenshot, and I'll just go back here. So this was the screenshot that we took, and I'm just going to close this now. So Dylan says I don't see the OU. You don't see the OU in. I'm going to close that. Which OU are we talking about here? So I'll go ahead and so this is run an administrator. So we are here in compliance management, then in auditing, and then this is the second one, run an administrator role group report. You don't have that, Dylan. So are you in the right page? Compliance management, auditing, and it's the second one here. Can you share the screenshot of yours or yours this page? So run an administrator role group export. We just need, it's already there, all 8 types here, and that's it. So you can just click it. Yeah, I clicked it. So okay, so under the role group, you're saying you got nothing. This one. So I don't see organization management. Okay, so this means that you did not add at that time when be added. But if you see others, that's okay. If you see any one even, that's okay. So it doesn't have to be. Oh, okay, that's good. You're good. So it doesn't have to be exactly that, but if even one is there, so this means the auditing is working fine. So okay, cool. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna close this one and go ahead with the third one, and that is run an in-place e-discovery and hold report. So if anyone has done an e-discovery and hold, which we did last class, so if the auditing report has got any activity time-stamped report, then it should show there. I'm just going to click that now, in place e-discovery, and if there is, well, it was not able to find that, although we did create that, but we did not create here. We created in the compliance management in the Microsoft 365. So it would just give a report if we had done here in ExchangeOnline. Well, the in-place e-discovery is actually moving towards the admin center. It's just moving away from this Exchange admin center and going to the compliance admin center there, compliance and security center. So anyway, that's why we did not create here. So that's why the auditing report will not show that too. If we go down to run a per mailbox litigation hold, litigation hold also just has the same repercussions there, that if you put it on litigation hold, it's going to end user against whom the investigation is going on, and it is and that mailbox, that user's mailbox is on litigation hold, then that user cannot delete or so so that user cannot read or delete any data. So I'm just going to click that as well. And we didn't do actually any litigation hold report, and we should just understand that what is it for. If you had put any mailbox on litigation hold, which just means that user cannot delete, user cannot change anything there. So if we haven't done that, there won't be any auditing report there, obviously. I'm just going to close that too. These are all specific scenarios. If that task was done only, then the logs will report, obviously. So if you go for the fifth one here, export mailbox audit logs. So this is mailbox audit logs. Export entries from mailbox audit logs about non-owner access to user mailboxes. So this report, do you want that exported? Suppose you did get that activity and there were so many people who were connecting to others mailboxes. Was that after approval done, or was that done without approval? So you can just get those logs emailed to you or exported as well. So if you go to export mailbox audit logs here, then it just shows that from which date to which date, search the mailboxes or leave blank to find all mailboxes accessed by non-owners. So that's good. And where do you want the report to be sent? So then you can just check that whose mailbox you want this report sent. So let's go to select users and simply select our logged in users mailbox. So I'm just going to go to the select users here and search. So I think it was your first name admin. If I search that, yes, your first name admin, I want that report to be forwarded to this one. So I'm just gonna press OK here and add. So click OK, click add here. Just adding some mailbox. It doesn't have to be this, but I'm just adding some mailbox and press OK. So this report would be exported to this mailbox. That's the purpose of this option here. I'm just gonna click export after selecting some mailbox here, well, our own. Then there is a run the admin audit log report, and that is view entries from the admin audit log about configuration changes made by administrators. Now, if you as an administrator have made any changes on any of the applications there, any sections here, then obviously there is an audit report for that, and that If we go ahead and let's click that, run the admin audit log report. So you will see a lot of activities with actual PowerShell commandlets there, showing that in the background those commandlets were used. So that's a lot of activity, and whatever other activity is going to be done, I see one selected of 80 total. So this is the first page, then there is second, third, fourth, fifth, these, it goes on, and it shows showing 50 items. It could show 500 items as well. Suppose I go for 500, so that's supposed to be then a big list. Okay, so Gideon says go back. So Gideon, click that, run the admin audit log report, and once you do that, it just loads up the report. So this will show every activity of an admin. So whatever you do, wherever you clicked, it is audited right away, right? So I'm gonna close this. We don't have to take a screenshot of that, but we understand that whatever as an admin you do, every step is being audited. So there's a report being created for every step you took. So export the admin audit log, and yes, whatever activity you did up there and you saw that can be exported into a mailbox as well. So we understand that as well. We have an idea about that now, that you just put a mailbox and your every activity report will be exported. And so that's why we have to be very, very careful what we're doing here in Exchange admin area. As an administrator, we have to be very responsible, and we should be very, very compliant. We should follow the company compliance policies and run the external admin audit log report. So this is just saying that if you invited a Microsoft specialist, suppose you're stuck with some issue here, and the Microsoft specialist says that I'm going to remotely connect to your Microsoft 365 Exchange Admin Center, and I'm going to troubleshoot for you whatever issue you're stuck in. So in that case, whatever step, suppose the Microsoft expert remotely connected and went to certain sections there, and then certain other features there, and changed some configurations, and you wanted to actually see that, hey, what is he doing or he or she's doing, and how much configuration he or she did. So all that can be audited, that an external user connected to this and then did that configuration, this configuration, and made those changes and this changes. So all that will be audited in this particular audit report, right? So if you click that, obviously none of the Exchange admins connected there, so I don't expect any activity here. But in fact, there are some activities there. New mailbox, we did that. So who did that? New mailbox, that's it. So nothing else. So this means that it is putting that as an outsider activity. So what it says here, view entries from the admin audit log about configuration changes made to your ExchangeOnline services by Microsoft or by a delegated admin. Okay, delegated admin is global admin, right? So we had another admin called delegated or global admin, which has been delegated, another user account that has been delegated with global admin permissions. So that all would be then done by a delegated admin, and that's total 80 tasks there. Okay, so either Microsoft or some delegated admin connects, then that report will be also showing here. So we get the idea that, okay, these are specific scenario based audit reports that you can see, and all, well, those are very critical ones, that somebody accesses somebody else's mailbox, or what is administrator really doing with that top privilege across your Exchange admin center, right? So other than that, we have data loss prevention. That's another feature here, and that's pretty important as well, but I think it's going to be moved to the compliance and security as well. Compliance admin center. So it does say here you can now create a single DLP policy in Office 365 security and compliance. So this is the area, security and compliance center, to protect content in SharePoint, OneDrive, and Exchange. But what is data loss prevention anyway, right? So guys, I'll be uploading all those slides for data loss prevention and retention policies and retention tags, explanation. So for the 15th week, then for the quiz, I'll be uploading all that. So you can just, obviously it's going to be open book as well, and just like the midterm, and same whole format there. It's going to be 20 questions instead of 25 questions. And but yes, from all across what we have learned since midterm, whatever we have gone through, so that will be in the final term next week on the class times. So data loss prevention is, so let's go ahead and create a template. So first of all, data loss prevention is all about critical data of the company must not leave the organization. So the main emphasis is there that data loss, or DLP, is there that critical data of the company must not leave the company, right? So that's DLP, data loss prevention. For example, it could be financial data, or also insurance data, or any other type of medical data. So medical data. So how would that be automatically detected that, oh, that's a financial data, I can't let you leave this email, or I can let this document be shared outside of the company? So the there are templates here which it really follows. Now what does that mean? So first of all, data loss prevention is preventing the loss of critical data, right? So you can use policy tips, well, these are policy tips, but you can use document fingerprints to customize sensitive information types in your policies. That's one thing. And use DLP policies to scan email messages for sensitive information that may be subject to certain regulations or business policies. So sensitive information of the company must not leave the company premises without approval, obviously. So how does that get controlled? Let's go to that plus sign here and find it out. So if you go to the plus sign here, you can see new DLP policy from a template, new DLP policy from custom template, new custom DLP policy. So you will understand right away that once you see the template there. So let's go for the first one here, new DLP policy or data loss prevention policy from template. Once you click that, you can see that there is choose a template. So first of all, suppose we go for financial. So your first name dash financial, right, dash policy. Your first name, oh, let me just change. Your first name dash financial policy, and I'll control A, control C, I'll click here in description, control V, or just copy paste it here, copy there, paste here. So what are these? So suppose you go for Canada financial data. Go ahead and click that, Canada financial data. So you see there, helps detect the presence of information commonly considered to be financial data in Canada, including bank account information, bank account numbers, and credit cards. So if you have a bank account information in your email and that's leaving, and you're sending it outside of the organization, so DLP will track that after this template is implemented. So use of this policy does not ensure compliance with any regulation. Suppose you have some international regulations there as well. After your testing is complete, make the necessary configuration changes in Exchange so the transmission of information complies with your organization's policies. So examples include configuring TLS with known business partners, or adding more restrictive transport rule actions such as adding rights protection to messages that contain this type of data. So it just says that if the financial information of Canadian banks is found, so suppose you have US bank information, so the US bank number or your bank account number would be different in US and bank account number in Canada would be different. So you have to implement that country's financial data template, so it could detect that template has a format already added there, so it will just simply detect that, oh okay, so this many numbers after this many dashes, and so this has to be financial data or bank account information of Canadian bank. So either you can select this template. Suppose there's health information of Canada, so it also goes ahead with or there's a personal health act, and then it goes on and on with all kinds of, so whatever types of format the user identity information is put in. Suppose there's a OHIP card and there's a number on that, so that is in a special format, so that format is always added to the template to be detected in the emails when they're about to be sent. So you can see France financial data, or Australia privacy data, and it goes on and on. Germany, Israel, Japan, Saudi Arabia, UK, US, and if you want some more templates, then you can go to Microsoft Partners and purchase a template specific to your organization as well. Okay, so here what we are trying to do, we're just going to go for we're going to go up and we're going to go for Canada financial data. Here we're going to select that, and it also says that all users within the scope of this DLP policy must be licensed on Exchange Plan Online Plan 2 or have an Exchange Enterprise Client Access license, so CAL. So you have to have premium Exchange license here for this to use. So Canada financial data is selected, and then go ahead and click save here. So once this is implemented, it's up to you to in fact, we didn't go for the more options. It normally shows you that, hey, you want to put it as a test or you want to implement it on everyone right away. So that was actually there in more options, but you can just open it again and check it out, that either you can test it or you can implement it right away. And do you want to implement it in as an action that you want to prevent the email from leaving? Suppose that data was in the email, or do you want only this to be audited and let the email go? So there will be a warning. Suppose you say that no, I don't want to prevent the email to leave the organization, but I want a warning coming to that email that you're going against the company compliance policies. So we're warning you that there's some information in the email that is leaving the organization that is not supposed to leave. So either you put it on warning or you actually block that email from leaving the organization. So you can take any of those actions. So it saving completed successfully, and I'm gonna press OK. So this is the policy that has been created here, but the main thing is to understand the purpose of this. In fact, this policy is selected here, and on the right side you can see that you can actually, so the default option is testing without policy tips, and force is that it's going to actually prevent that email from leaving the organization. Test with policy tips. What is the policy tips here? This is here, manage policy tips. And what is the policy tips? That it can just as a tip, it will come there on top of the screen that you're going against the company policies right now. So if I click that above, manage policy tips as well, so there you can actually click the plus sign, and then you can just locale could be any language there, but you can just put there that you're found in breach of this company compliance policies, or some data was found that is not supposed to leave the organization. So any way you want to word it, but that policy tip will come here, which is actually you will be giving a warning that this is audited, and we know that, like, it is documented now that you are sending this information outside against the company policy, right? So you can actually put some legal wording there for that. So I'm just going to cancel out from here and close this one as well. So that's data loss prevention. and this is also available outside of Exchange Admin Center in the well, it says here DLP policy in Office 365 Security and Compliance Center to protect content in SharePoint. So this is also can be done from there as well, but obviously this is Exchange Admin Center that we are talking about. So this is, and once you implement it, obviously you would vigorously test that in your organization, and then you would go ahead and simply enforce it. Right now it's on testing, right? So other than that, there is retention policies here. So retention policies and retention tags are all together. They're both together here. So okay, just a second. Excuse me, sir. Okay. So let's carry on. And okay, so Dylan says enforce. Did you click enforce? No. I'll just go back to this data loss prevention, and if I click that, no, it was not on enforce, but I didn't ask for a screenshot, so it's okay. But it's basically on testing without policy tips, right? So okay, now comes. So yes, it is on testing. It's not on enforce. So guys, there we have retention policies and retention tags. So what is the purpose of retention policies and retention tags there? The purpose is, I'll give a brief one here, and then we can go ahead. So retention policy and retention tags. So if we want our emails to be saved in our mailbox in any folder, then to save our emails in mailbox in any folder for longer time, then then it should be archived, and then it should be either deleted or archived. Then we can set it up in retention tags. That how long, suppose you want the deleted items folder to retain your deleted emails for only 30 days, or maybe 6 months, or maybe 1 year. So you can do that, but and in inbox you can retain your data only for 1 year, and after that it should be archived, right? So you can decide that how long the data should be there in your mailbox, and then suppose you keep on collecting data and you never archive, you never delete that, so your mailbox will obviously run out of space. And they also not give you, Microsoft also doesn't give you unlimited space there. For E1 and E3 subscriptions, they have 50 GB mailbox given to you, and in E5, which we have, the top package, Enterprise 5, it has 99 GB space, right? So that's a lot of space, but obviously we need to maintain it, and we need to make sure that we are still archiving the data or deleting unnecessary data that is there in the mailbox. So if we want our emails to be saved in our mailbox in any folder for a long time, and then it should be either deleted or archived, then we can set it up in retention tags. And we can then combine the retention tags in a retention policy, and so that would be tags in a retention policy. and then attach it to a mailbox. So how does it work? Let me explain that. So first we create retention tags. Okay, retention tag is just a policy you're creating either for your full mailbox. Okay, all in my mailbox, I will be keeping my emails for 1 year. But in my deleted items folder, I will keep the emails for 30 days. And then what do you want after 1 year for all the emails in the mailbox? Okay, I want them to be archived to a different mailbox. What do you want to do with the emails that are there in deleted items folder? I want them all to be deleted in 30 days. Suppose that's what you want to create. So you can create different tags for different types of folder in your mailbox and different timings. How do you want this data to end up? Either archive or delete, right? So I'm just going to go for retention tags. So first of all, we create retention tags, 3 or 4 types of this. Then we attach these retention tags into one policy here. We then attach this policy to any user's mailbox in the recipient, and that user's mailbox will get all the retention policies, and the data will be processed according to what we configured in retention tags and retention policies. So these two work together, and I'm going to click retention tags first. So if you go to the retention tags, so first of all it says here, you can now create and publish labels in Office 365 Security and Compliance Center to protect content in SharePoint, OneDrive, Exchange, and Microsoft 365 groups. So it just says that, okay, that retention tags is first of all, in near future, it will be called labels. And second thing is, it's available in Security and Compliance Center. So in future it will be changed, but right now it's still there. So you can see some of the tags are still showing there, and they do explain 1 week delete, 1 year delete, 5 year delete, 6 month delete. What is that? So after 1 week, delete the data. Where? In my personal folder. You can create your own folders as well, right? So after 1 week or 7 days, it's going to be deleting that. So these are the policies. We don't have to follow that. We can create our own policies, right? I'm going to go for the plus sign here. There are these applied automatically to entire mailbox. This policy we can create applied automatically to a default folder. This is your default folders that are always there, like deleted items folder, sent items folder, junk mail, and inbox and other folders, right? And then applied by users to items and folders. Now this is like you created your own personal folder there, and you want to put some policy there as well, that after this time I want to get rid of my data, either archive it or delete it. So I'm going to go for the first one here, applied automatically to entire mailbox. So if we go there to the first one, then you can just put your first name dash and then we can go for entire mailbox, and then we can also go for dash archive, right? So you can give a meaningful name there according to what you want to do. So it says here your first name dash entire mailbox dash archive. So this means that yes, we want to archive all the emails in my entire mailbox. But after what time? So we just need to define that. So first of all, what do you want to do? Retention action is what? Delete and allow recovery, or permanently delete your all emails, or move to archive. So we're going to go for move to archive. That's the first thing. Second thing, retention period. So when the item reaches the following age in days. So that would be 365. So for 1 year, let the emails be in my mailbox. After that, move to archive. Archive is another, it says here, moves the item to the user's archive mailbox if it exists. If a user doesn't have an archive mailbox, no action is taken. This action is available only for tags that are automatically applied to the entire mailbox, and tags applied to users, to items or folders, personal tags. So it just says that if you had created an extra archive mailbox, and then it will happen, otherwise nothing will happen. So Move to archive is there, and 365 is written there. I'm just going to go ahead and click save here. So we created one tag here, right? So I'm just gonna press OK. So I'm just gonna press OK here, and so there's that retention tag. So you can see with your name that one retention tag created. Okay, as I have it, I just again give that name. So okay, I'll just change that. Anyway, so the next thing is I'm gonna go for plus sign again, and this time we're gonna go for second one, applied automatically to our. So the screenshot will come when these three tags will be created. Then three tags will show here as well. They will be starting with your name, and then we're gonna take that screenshot. So applied automatically to our default folder, and I'm gonna click that second one now. It will also be starting with your name, and applied your first name, and then it will be default folder, and we're going to choose what default folder we're going for. And what do you want with that? Suppose we go for delete. So there's an inbox default folder, but there are others as well. So suppose you go for junk mail or deleted items. Now deleted items, we don't have to delete one in 1 month. It could be 6 months as well. It's just adding up to the size, but maybe sometimes the user wants to recover the emails in that case. But otherwise, it's let's go for junk mail here. I think Gmail also has a policy of 30 days, and within 30 days it deletes all the junk mail. So your first name, default folder, delete, and the default folder. These are all the default folders here. And junk mail is there. So delete and allow recovery. Do you want that, or do you want junk mail to be permanently deleted? So sometimes legit email also ends up in junk mail, right? So you should always keep checking your junk mail as well. So it's up to you. You want to go for delete and allow recovery, and permanently it's supposed to be go for permanent delete here. So there is retention period when the item reaches this many days. So you can go for 30 days or 60 days there. And if you're receiving a lot of spam, then you've been really tired of that. So you could go for lesser days, or you can go for more days here as well. It's adding up to the size. Although anti-spam normally is there as a protection tool for the companies. So junk email is there, your first name, default folder, delete is there, and when the item reaches the following age or 60. And so you can see that we're deleting any junk mail in 60 days. It's up to your company policy. I'm just gonna click save here, right? Then we're gonna go for the third policy as well. Okay, that's the second policy. Let's go for the plus sign again, and there's a third policy, applied by users to items and folders. So this is, suppose you created your own private folders there, and then you want a policy for data retention there as well. So I'm going to go for applied by users, and your first name here dash, it's we can say private folders, or user folders, private folders, custom folders, we can name it anything. Dash, what do you want there? So, well, it's your private folder, and sometimes it's you create a separate folder. Suppose the boss is trying to talk to you, so you create a separate folder for boss, and there's a development team. Any email coming from there should land into a separate folder. So it's like that, right? So delete and allow recovery is there. It's up to you how do you want to treat your private folders. Obviously we cannot permanently delete that. Delete and allow recovery is a good option, or move to archive, because it's private folder doesn't mean it's non-company related. It can be non-company related, but normally it is company related. You're just organizing all the emails in separate folders. So we can go for move to archive for this one as well after 365 days. So so this means that at the end, guys, we need to type archive, your first name, private folders dash archive, then move to archive, and when the item reaches the following days, 365 days. And it could be, you can do any change, but what we're trying to do here is just to understand that, okay, so retention tags, we decide about all the folders and data in different ways. And do you want to delete, do you want to archive that, right? So I'm going to click save here, and okay. So now we got 3 tags here, so that would be our second screenshot here. So this would be retention tags created. So we could name it retention tags created. I'm going to take a screenshot here now. Retention, obviously you will be taking your own screenshots here. Retention tags created. Let's go for a sample screenshot. Oh, you know what? I'll go for another one because the retention tags was not showing. Okay, retention tags created. So I'll just put it here. Screenshot 2, retention tags created. Retention. Okay, so screenshot 2 there, and it is this screenshot. So 3 retention tags created. Now we cannot attach the retention tags directly to a mailbox. We have to group them together into a retention policy, and retention policy can be attached to a mailbox. So these tags cannot directly be attached to a mailbox. So if I go up there to retention policies here, so there's the retention policy, and there is already one default policy that has all these tags already created. But since we created our own retention tags, we're going to attach them to our own new retention policy. So I'm going to click that plus sign here, and first of all we need to name this policy. So you can go for your first name dash mailbox policy, your first name dash mailbox policy.
Please, how did you get here, please?
Yeah, see this? So we were in retention tags here, we went to retention policies, and then we went to plus. That's it. Okay, let's go to retention policies here and plus here. So what are we naming here? Your first name dash retention, mailbox policy, sorry. So it was mailbox policy. Yeah, it could be retention policy as well. So we gave a name here, your first name dash mailbox policy. Now I'm going to go for the plus sign here. So I'm going to click the plus sign. And where are our tags, right? So I just click the plus sign, this one, and I see my first tag, second retention tag, third retention tag. So this means that I'm going to select all 3. I'll click here and keep the shift key pressed and select this one and click the add button. So all 3 tags that I have created, I'm combining it in one policy here, and I'm going to press OK. So now 3 retention tags are in one retention policy, right? So that would be retention policies here. Once these are connected, we need to just save it. I'm going to click save now. Saving completed successfully. I'm going to press OK. So there's your retention policy created. Now if you have it created, that doesn't mean that it's working. We have to attach it to a mailbox for it to work. and it's going to only be implemented, those retention tags would be only implemented on that particular mailbox or mailboxes that you connect this policy to. So once we have created it here, we're going to go back to the mailboxes area, the recipients area, and then we're going to go to a mailbox and simply check there where in a mailbox. Suppose I go for select any random user here, random mailbox here, and select that, double click it, or click the edit button in recipients, mailboxes, and any mailbox here. I'm going for 2. And normally you would find the features in mailbox features here. So let's click the mailbox features, and role assignment here, retention policy is this one, right? Do you see yours? So yes, we do see ours here. So in mailbox features and retention policy, so we see that the retention policy can be attached to a mailbox this way. I'm just gonna click save here. So just change it to your, so now this user has the retention policy that we created and not the default one, right? Okay, so if we go back to, so this is how we create retention tags, retention policies, and then simply attach it to a mailbox. So if I go down here to compliance management again, so retention tags and retention policies are done. We understand what they are. Then there is journal rules. There is journal rules. So journal rules are, what's the main idea behind that? The idea behind that is journal rules. The idea behind that is if we want to copy any user's inbound/outbound emails to another mailbox, obviously with company approval, we're not spying, with company approval. Well, it's if you're using the company mailboxes, all the data in the company mailboxes is company's property, not your property. So the company has the right to save it wherever they want, however they want. When your data is backed up, obviously it's going to company's backup archives. So it's company's property what the data is there in the email. So with company approval, what happens if we want to copy any user's inbound or outbound emails to another mailbox with company approval, then we can add an outside the organization mailbox here to receive all the copied emails, right? So it could be all mailboxes, whatever emails are coming can be copied to an outside mailbox quietly, silently, or it could be just specific users. All emails that are inbound and outbound can be copied to an outside the company mailbox, outside the organization mailbox. So the main purpose is you're keeping a copy of all the emails of either every employee, or you're keeping a copy of all the emails of specific users, specific employees. So, but this is it. I mean, you can't just make a copy of those all the emails of any specific mailbox. You are already taking a backup, but this is also one thing. Suppose you're doing an investigation against an employee after a lot of complaints, suppose, were there. So you could just add a journal rules there that would just simply copy anything and he or she is receiving or sending from the mailbox. So that's the main purpose of journal rules. And once we go back to this journal rules, so use journal rules to record all communications in support of your organization's email retention or archival strategy. So you're just recording all communication for retention purpose and archival purpose. Okay, so first of all, it says send undeliverable journal reports to. Undeliverable just means that journal reports normally are sent that, hey, suppose you put that on Alan Reed, the mailbox of Alan Reed here, that all the emails should be journaled for Alan Reed, all communication. So if the journal report will actually send you reports that yes, the last set of all communication has been copied to another mailbox. But if there are some set of communication that could not be copied, it's undeliverable, then who do you want to send the report to, that okay, some of the reports are not there, or some of the communication was not, we were not able to copy that, so where do you send that report? So I'm just going to select address here, this one. Let's go ahead and select this address, because if you don't set this address, journaling, it won't let you use the journaling. So non-delivery reports, NDRs, non-delivery reports, who do you want to send the non-delivery reports that failed to deliver the copied communication? So you can just choose, obviously, normally there's a NDR mailbox that you create, non-delivery report mailbox, but you can just go for any mailbox. Here we're just going to go for our own mailbox. So if I go for your first name, I think I put it as this name, yeah, your first name admin. You can just select any mailbox here. I'm just going to select the admin mailbox here for non-delivery reports. I'm going to click save here, right? Okay, now we click save, and now we need to check that whose communication we want to copy, right? So I'm just going to click the plus sign here. Let's click the plus sign. Send journal reports to. So first thing it asks that who do you want all the copied communication to go to. Now it's not a good idea to put it on the private emails like Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook here, and normally it's recommended to put an email that is outside of this organization, right? So outside organization, yes, we don't have any other outside email other than the private emails like Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, Yahoo, right? So what I will do, I will try to go for my outside email ID. Suppose it's Gmail, whatever Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo mail you want to put that you have access to right now, you can put that. So if I go for my Gmail there, itguime@gmail.com, and name, okay, so Alan, we have Alan Reed, right? Oh, okay. Any mailbox journaling dash your first name, mailbox journaling dash your first name. And actually that's not that user's mailbox. We're going to be deciding that, but that's just the name of the journaling. So if the message is sent or received from, and from who, so you want to copy all communication to one user or apply to all. Suppose we go for apply to all, right? So it could be one user, you can select any user, or apply to all, whichever. If it's a big organization, obviously you won't go for apply to all, although one of the banks where I was a contractor, they just selected all, and that was a lot of users, and a big archive was there for every communication from every user was being journaled, because that's company's data. So journal the following messages, and do you want to just go for external messages, or whatever the employees were talking to each other, internal messages, or all messages? So suppose we go for all messages of everyone. Yikes. Okay, so if that all has been configured, so now some of us might have error here, some of us it would be successful. So this is not a very consistent policy here. We're not supposed to give a private outside email there, like it's not from some organization as well. And we can't give our own email, the local emails here, right? So for some students, the local email works. For some students, this works. For some students, some other organization email works, which is very, very strange. I'm going to click save here, and let's do you want this rule to apply to all future messages? Yes. So first we click save and then we click yes. And it says general email address can only be a mail user, a mail contact, or an external address. Okay, so well, it does not qualify for an external address, although it's a. Now it does say mail user or mail contact as well, right? So we do have a. In fact, this is the email I put there for mail contact. So it did not accept that as well for me. I'm just gonna press OK again because it is not accepting. And in the mail contact, I can just go for. Okay, so that is still open. I'm going to go to recipients. I'm going to go to see this contacts, recipients and contact. I'm just checking mine. And okay, so there's a mail contact and mail user here as well. Really, I never created that many mail contacts there. So if I go for mail contact, I did create for my own. It was a contractor, right? I put there as a contractor. Mail contact, yes. So, and yes, this is what I created, and it is Dkm as well. So honor dash mail contact. This is the name I gave. I'm going to try this. It needs an email, and this is the mail contact email. So, and the other one is this. So I'm going to go for your first name dash mail contact as the name there. If it accepts that, dash mail. Normally it goes for an organization email, right? So it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be the private emails. So I'm just going to go for. Normally it asks for an email, right? So if I press yes, so please fix highlighted and try it. Obviously, it's not an email. I'm going to go for one more. That is also Outlook first name. In fact, that's here as the other one, and it's also a private email. 3 at outlook.com. And I'll click save here and yes, and ouch. So it does not go for mail user, mail contact, although I use that, or an external address as well. Work with GPC email, Eric says. Okay, thank you, Eric, for sharing that. That's a good idea. Okay, let's go for, that's an organization email as well. What was it? That's a long one. At George Brown. Oops. .ca. Right. So just give your George Brown email, guys, and try to check if it accepts that. Yes, please accept. Yes, that's a good idea. It's an organization as well. Okay, that's very good. I'm gonna go for, yeah, where was it? Compliance management. So thank you for sharing that, Eric. And so this is the George Brown email, and once it is selected here, I think whenever we send an email, so a copy of that would come to this account as well. So that's not a very good idea to keep it there. Can you go back? So John Sanders says go back, and okay, Harshan also says show. So see this? No, I'll double click that. Right. So this is the configuration. I just put my full George Brown email. So in your case, maybe it's the ID you have at georgebrown.ca, right? And whatever name you want to, well, it's mailbox journaling dash your first name. Apply to all messages and all messages. So that's all we did. And then go ahead and press save and so if you have successfully created it, then This would be our screenshot number 3. I'm just showing it, not this. Either it's open, yes, it's also okay, or it is closed. The screenshot number 3. Journal rule created would be the title. Journal rule created. Okay. So I'm just gonna save it now, and so either while it is open you took the screenshot, or this screenshot you can take here as well while it is closed. Journal rule created. So screenshot number 3, journal rule created. I'm just gonna go for taking a screenshot here, and it should show your whichever email you will. Hopefully everyone put George Brown email. So journal rule created. I'm just gonna type it now. So it would be screenshot 3, journal rule created. And mail server equals screenshot 3 journal rule created. Okay, so let's get back. So that's journaling, but guys, suppose now that's every employee. Now that's every employee's email that is being selected. So I'm just going to go for Outlook. Is the Outlook open for everyone? You can just send an email to anyone from within this Outlook. If it's not open, go to the Exchange admin. There's a 9 dots here. Click that, and then there's a 3 dots here for open in new tab for Outlook. Right? Either this way you can open, or you can right click here and go to duplicate, and then on the duplicate page just come here to 9 dots and click the Outlook, right? So but what we will do is we'll just send an email from this admin to either outside or to itself or some other user in the company. The thing is that we're sending an email, right? And does it come to our George Brown email now or not? So it might come now, it might come later as well. So once we open our Outlook for the currently logged in admin, I'm going to click the new message here. And it could be anyone. Suppose I send it from here to my mail contact, which is my Gmail. So one email goes to my Gmail. Other email actually goes to an internal employee. So your first name 0. So I have your first name 01. Okay. So your first name 01 or 2 or 3 or whichever number, right? But one email goes outside of this organization. One email goes to an internal employee here. Once you have put the 2 emails there, that's it. So in the subject we can put what? Testing. Testing journal rules dash your first name, right? So create a new message, just put your whatever outside email and one of your first name 01, 2, 3, 4, whichever, and go for testing journal rules. I'm going to control A, control C, and click here, control V. So testing journal rules. That's what we're about to send. But what are we expecting? We're expecting that when this email goes out, its journaled copy should be going to our George Brown email or whatever email we mentioned there, right? So I'm just going to go for send here now. Okay, so it's been sent, and on my other screen, now it might not come right away, but on the other screen, in my other screen, monitor screen, okay, I received those as well. That was fast. So in my George Brown email, which I'm seeing on the other side, I see that journal rule, and so did you see that also? So let me show you how it looks like. That's my George Brown email, and the testing journal rules actually arrived right away. Amazing. And the email was sent to this person and this mailbox and this mail. This was outsider. This was a employee, and and it is here as an attachment. So that's how it looks like for any email that has been automatically copied and sent to another mailbox, right? So I'm going to close that. We don't have to take a copy of that, but the journaling really works. Okay, so it's been copied now. Obviously, we may send a lot of other emails in the Outlook, and we don't want them all to be ending up in our George Brown email. So we should remove that rule now. If you have mentioned your, you can go to that yellow envelope tab here, and the journal rules, and so we can select this now if it is done from your side, or you have sent it and it may or may not reach right away. For me, it reached right away, and I showed you as well. I'm going to delete this rule because I don't want any other email. So whatever we send here as a test will reach here, so I don't want that. I'm going to just simply delete it now, the journal rule. Okay, it's deleted as well. Okay, so we've talked about compliance management here and journal rules. Pretty straightforward, but also very critical compliance management features are there. And then there is organization here. And in organization, under compliance management, we normally see sharing and add-ins. We also, now sharing and adding add-ins is, especially sharing, is related to free busy calendar information between your between this ExchangeOnline and the federated exchange organization, right? So what does that mean? So it is you have a Toronto branch here, suppose, and that branch has a machine here, and that machine has Exchange server installed there. So in that case, Exchange installed there, right? So what happens is that there are mailboxes there, and the users are busy in, suppose they scheduled a meeting for Monday 10 to 2 and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and that is in the calendar of a user here. That calendar, if you want that free busy information is just your calendar information that you're free throughout the week, but you're busy on Monday 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. So that information can be synchronized to ExchangeOnline. And if you have federated exchange organization, and what is federated exchange organization? You must install another type of Windows role called ADFS, which is Active Directory Federation Services. That's a big server, and the only purpose of that Active Directory Federation Services is that internal users can connect with their local credentials, the Active Directory credentials, to any outside application. That's the main purpose of ADFS. So end users just have to remember their own credentials, so it truly offers single sign-on SSO. So it just says that if your calendar information is in local on-premises Exchange server, that this information can be sent synchronized to ExchangeOnline as well. So that's what this area is all about. And then there is add-ins here as well. Add-ins is basically okay, when it loads. Really? Thinking. Okay, so add-ins here is that any app that you want to make available for the mailboxes of the entire Exchange Admin Center, those apps can be added here. So there are some insights here, or other app ping maps are there, action items are there. These are just apps. So and then it says add-ins have a new home. Begin deploying add-in via services and add-ins page in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Read more about centralized deployment. So if we go to the plus sign here, so add from app source. So app source is the online marketplace for Microsoft. So if we go for plus sign and then click the add from app source for add-ins here. So I'm going to click that app source now, and it is a marketplace of all the apps, the commercial apps that are, so it only chose Outlook, right? So it's only for, suppose there's a signature app, or there's a financial app, translator for Outlook, and any other app that you want to add there into your Outlook. Email recovery, well, that would be interesting. And then there are others, right? So if we go for any, suppose there's a Evernote here. So that's the first one I see. If you see any other and you don't see Evernote, it's okay. You can go ahead and select anyone else, any other application. So I'm going to go for this Evernote, the first one, and I'll click Get It Now, right? If you don't see that, you can select any other app as well. I'm going to click the Get It Now. Once I click the Get It Now, then it says sign into Microsoft App Source, enter the email address of the account you want to use when acquiring apps on App Source. Really? Okay, I think I'm using that incognito, that's why it's asking me to put that. Otherwise, normally it's just simply attached and it adds the applications smooth. I need to put my whole admin email here. Sign in. And it's supposed to just simply add that. Well, seems like it's done because, oh, okay, so it pops up here for me. And the license terms, that's it. I agree that Microsoft may share, blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm going to click continue for the license terms, taking you to Microsoft 365 to complete this process. So it was just click click click, and it gets added to the add-ins. Well, let's see. Seems like it's thinking. Okay, it's kind of there. Retrieving information. Wow. Serious? Add-in installation, Evernote, publish, yeah. Permissions requested, read, write, mailbox. Okay. So I'll be adding that. Takes time. Serious? Or is it not speeding up? Okay, you've added an add-in for Outlook. Start using your add-in. Get more add-ins for. Okay, so looks like it's done. Add-ins for Outlook. No, I don't want any more. So what I added, I just need to see, was it added there from where I started? So I would have to go back to the tab that has the yellow envelope there. I'm going to click that tab, which is the Exchange Admin Center, and I need to refresh this page after all that process is done of adding. I'm going to click the refresh button here, and well, now it's going to refresh that. Terrible speed.
Excuse me, please, how did you get here?
So the previous page ended up here. So this means the process of adding the application finished. So I just simply clicked on the one where we were, the Exchange Admin, this one. So we started from here by adding app source. Then the next page started and it ended up here. So it took some time. So I see Evernote here, right? So do we all see Evernote or any other app here? Okay, there's a yup. So okay, so yes and yes. Okay, so let's take a screenshot number 4. Add in, edit. So screenshot, so refresh that and you will see that. So add in, added. So we can just say add in, added. So I'll take a screenshot number 4 now. And add in, added. So screenshot 4, add in, add dash in, added. And I'll go for mail server, screenshot for add dash in, added. Okay, so it shows here add and added, and I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. Yep. So the screenshot number 4 taken, add and added as well. There's that. Not much in this organization section, and under the organization section, we have protection. So this is overall obviously going to protect you from anti-spam, anti-malware, and it could quarantine some of the emails that are having some kind of suspicious attachments there. So overall, the protection tab here, protection section here really is good. Malware Filter has new home and improved functionality by December 1, 2020. So the Malware Filter experience will be removed from the Exchange Admin Center. Please see the updated experience in the Security and Compliance Center. Anti-malware page to modify, create and update anti-malware policies. Learn more about anti-malware. So it says here that on December 1, 2020, it's going to move that page, but it did not. And pretty much these are all the features that always have been there. Normally this comes with a date as well for many of the features, and they get removed after quite some time. So what we can do is we have the malware filter already showing there for Exchange, and what we can explore here is by the default policy. We can just say check it out by selecting this and clicking that edit button, or just simply double clicking this default. right? So I selected Malware Filter. Here Malware Filter, this was default. I just double clicked on it or select and edit. So it shows the name default, but in the settings, what it does is malware detection response. So do you want to notify recipients if their messages are quarantined? So, well, it's a good idea to notify the users that their messages have been quarantined because of malware found in the attachments there. So yes, and use the default notification text, or yes and use custom. So if I go for yes here, so there's a default notification text that just mentions that your email attachment had malware detected inside, and your message is quarantined right now. So contact the administrator, right? So it's kind of that message, or you can create your own company custom message here as well. If we go down to common attachment types filter, turn on this feature to block attachment types that may harm your computer. So it is off, it should be on actually. But when you receive an email, sometimes you may get these kind of attachments as well. And majority of the time, these types of attachment .scr, .vbe, .vbs, that those are malware or those are viruses, and never double click them, never download them. So the .exe, obviously that would be blocked by your antivirus right away. And is it so first of all, it should be turned on, obviously. And second thing is that we can go to the plus sign and even add more types of attachments that could be blocked as well, right? So that may harm your computer. So it's going to block attachment types. I'm going to click the plus sign here now, and you can see a long list of all the attachments. That main attachment that are very well known are there already added, but there could be others as well. Suppose I go way up there and there's a .batch, BAT, right? .bat. So we can just select that .bat. So it used to, in old days, it used to be running certain commands there, multiple commands. So .batch, if you select and click add, so we're just checking that, okay, this is how we can add extra attachments there. And I'm just gonna click that button and then press OK, right? So this is all we add, and it was off. So obviously if you're the admin in Microsoft 365 or an Exchange admin in your company, so you always have to visit these options here, and some options are actually off, so they should not be off in when you're in the company. You should go through nick and corner of all those ExchangeOnline security settings and check that which settings are on, which are off. So well, we turn it on, and we in fact added another extension. So I'm just gonna go down here. There is malware 0-hour auto purge. So what is a 0-hour auto purge? Protects your users by automatically taking your policy's action to quarantine messages with malware detected after delivery. So malware was detected after the email was delivered. So so it's going to go for quarantine of messages with if the email is in you can say in transit, if it's moving, and it was detected that there's a malware in the attachment, so it's going to notify the users that hey, your email attachment had malware. So at least it goes for it tries to quarantine the message if the message is still within your organization but on the move. But once it leaves your organization over the internet, then the other organization which receives it must have this, if it has that feature on of detecting malware while the email is in transit, it's moving, then it will detect that on the other side. So you want to send the notification, sender notifications are there, notify internal senders, notify external senders. That's always a good idea that if the emails are coming from outside to your organization and they have malware. So maybe they are contractors and they are really earning your company millions of dollars, and somehow their message ended up in quarantine. So that really stops your business. So the contractor would call the boss or the whoever, accountants or bankers. Hey, I sent that critical report. Did you get it? And the banker says, no, I didn't get it. So it's very critical. Obviously, maybe it's millions of dollars of deals depending on that email. So when you put these restrictions, you have to make sure that any critical email is processed fast. Okay, maybe there's a legit reason. Maybe there is a malware detected. It's not a false alarm. So in that case, still try to act fast on critical emails and clear them of malware and simply unquarantine them, remove them from quarantine as well. So you want to send notifications. Yes, these are the notifications: administrator notifications, and notify administrators about undelivered messages from external senders. So all these types of notifications can be enabled if we keep going down, and you want to put your own message, your own subject, and who you want to send or how many others you want to send. So this is all notification area for that. So we get that from the malware in the protection section for the malware that you have to how do you want to detect the response, and do you want the user to be notified what kind of harmful attachments you want to avoid. And it was actually off, it should be turned on, and then it will protect you from harmful attachments. It will block right away instead of leaving the decision to the user to double click it and then find out the hard way. Okay, so some changes were done here on the protection in the malware, so I'm just going to click save and okay. So then there is connection filter here. So just like malware filter was there was a full connection filter, and it also says its new home is there in the connection filter experience is there. So as a new home, improved functionality will be removed from the Exchange Admin Center. Please use updated experience in the Security and Compliance Center. So this is just saying that Security Compliance Center, it will be there as well. So after we've covered that, we're going to just visit that area as well. So connection filter here, and we're going to double click the default here as well, or click the default and click this edit button, or simply double click the default here. So connection name, connection filter name is there first thing, and then we go for connection filter as well. So that's very interesting. You can block IP addresses of the domains from where the emails have been coming, and you can go for allow list, you can go for block list as well, right? So you can do connection filtering like that. Always accept messages from the following IP addresses, always block messages from the following IP addresses. So this goes custom, and you can really then allow block IP based traffic as well. So enable safe list is there as well, and safe list is that if you have safe list normally is a big list databases, whitelisted databases maintained by different authorities across the internet, and they maintain a list of those domains which are okay, which are legit. They're not known to be sending spam, malware, and other stuff. So you can just check that as well if you want that whatever safe lists and whitelists are there being maintained by international authorities. So those domains I will also allow. So that's what it's really saying. I don't see the connection filtering. Gideon says I don't see a connection filtering. So guys, anyone missing the connection filtering here? So Gideon, do you see malware filter? So it's in protection, malware filter, and oh, okay, you're good. So all right, so here so we're in the connection filter, and okay, thank you. Yes, I'm gonna go for connection filter. We just understand that IP allow list and block list is there. So when the quiz question comes, just be ready. Where's the IP allow list and block list. So, well, either you enable safe list or not, it's okay. And we can just click cancel out from here. We just need to know that, okay, we can add an IP address here and it will block all emails from there and allow as well. So I'm going to click the cancel out from here. We get the idea. It's not very difficult. It's pretty straightforward things mentioned here. Spam filter, if we go for, so that's also its new home is Security and Compliance Center. But normally you would see that it's they've tried to integrate it centrally there in Microsoft 365, and the same features and newer interface will be there obviously. So I'm just going to double click that spam filter here, and in the spam filter, once you double click that, okay, now we see some of the options there, like spam and bulk actions, block list, allow list, international spam, advanced options, right? So if you go for spam and bulk actions, so there is spam and bulk actions, and so if there is spam, move messages to junk email folder. So it says that, but there are others as well. Add X header, right? There's also that, which just means that to the packets there is an X header added, which actually just shows that, okay, this is a spam and it is marked as spam. Prepend subject line. If the message is coming, the subject line will be prepended, or subject line will be changed to it could be written as spam detected or just spam. Redirect message to email address. Suppose you detect that there is a spam coming, you can redirect it to an other mailbox that you've created specifically for those emails that are alerted as spam, having spam there. So you can redirect it to another mailbox. Delete the message directly. Well, that could be, the spam sometimes is a false alarm as well. Maybe it's a legit email, it's a important email, and sometimes the anti-spam software just put them as spam. So deleting is not a very good idea unless that spam has been there, cross-checked as well, and thought of that, confirmed as spam. Then you can go ahead and delete that, but not just when it is arriving. It could be false alert as well, false alarm. So here, a quarantine message, you want to quarantine every spam. Yes, that is also doable. So, but here normally the popular option is move message to junk email folder. High confidence spam. So you have full confidence that I'm sure this is spam, right? So what do you want to do with that? And these are the same options that are showing here as well. Normally, yes, the spam is supposed to go to junk email, and we should have a habit of going to that junk email regularly and check that if any of our crucial email is there as well. So mark bulk email as spam. There are actually thresholds there. Select this threshold. 1 marks the most bulk email as spam, and 9 allows the most bulk email to be delivered. So suppose you put it on 9, so this means that it will just clear every email to be okay. And suppose you put it on 1, so it will be suspicious of pretty much every second, third email as spam, and it will keep on putting majority of the emails on junk folder. So if you're receiving that kind of high spam, otherwise 7 is the default, which is moderate, that it will try to avoid all the false alarms there and let majority of the email pass, and where it is highly confident that it is spam, it will only put that in junk mail. So, and quarantine retain spam for how many days, you can just check that out as well, that how many days you want to put it on quarantine if it is quarantined. Okay, so there is that block list, and you can actually block a sender as well to grab the email address and simply block it from the block list. And domain block list, so the full domain of the sender should be blocked and can be blocked as well. So normally anti-spam stops that kind of email, but it's still, if it reaches there, some root employee just sent an email, and you could just block that employee's email specifically, or the full domain if it was from some kind of organization. So, and then there is allow list. So suppose you have blocked a lot of domains and senders, but you just want one of those senders from the block list immediately to be added, to be sent email to, or you can put that to the allow list, right? If you put any sender to the allow list, normally what happens is that many of the anti-spam, anti-malware will also consider it as a legit email, right? So allow list normally whitelists whatever you put there, so be careful of putting anyone in allow list as well, and domain allow list as well. It just says that many of the other security mechanisms will also think this is a legit domain, and they will not check what, even though they were regularly checking, anti-malware, anti-spam was checking that. So when you put it on domain allow list or allow sender list, so many of the regular mechanisms of security also don't check that. So be careful what you put here. International spam, that is then filter email messages written in the following languages. So suppose you select that and go to the plus sign to check, and you can see that it actually then mentions that those languages there, and if the email is coming for in that language, then consider it as spam. So I'm going to cancel out from here, but we should know that it exists. I'm just going to uncheck this filter as well. It's the same for the countries and regions as well. If we go for filter email messages, and according to countries and regions, and click the plus sign here, you can see all the countries and regions as well. So very interesting anti-spam here features here. So I'm going to click cancel out from here as well. And the final one is advanced options. That goes even more in depth, that do you want to block those URLs. Suppose sometimes you might have received some kind of email where it is just https:// and it's actually a IP 62.132.32.8, and it says that, oh, there are some cool pictures there, or it's a gaming server, connect to that. So if you know the person, then connect, otherwise you can actually turn it off. But suppose you turn this one on, so what will happen is it will block any URL that is based on IP address. It does not even show the proper name of the domain. In fact, it shows an IP address based URL. So sometimes these are they normally are, majority of the time, there are threats there. Hacker attacks could be in the background working if you click that. So all these are the type of, suppose you're going to go for blocking .biz or .info websites. So .biz or .info, they are specifically mentioned here. So they are known to have, suppose you go to the website, you click that, or there's a link there of that domain, and you click that, and the hacker gets backdoor access to your environment from your desktop. So some of the known hacker attacks related information is there that you want to block. VB-script related, JavaScript, iframe, HTML, some of the tags there are in the pictures, and you want to block JavaScript on any of the animation going on in the email. You're about to click that. When you click that, so a script in the background runs, and it takes over whatever kind of malicious intent was done, programmed by the script, that it implements that. And then object tags in HTML, tags in embed tags in HTML, form tags in HTML. So all those tags are just those points where in the HTML page that you can block as well, and web bugs in HTML. So the HTML page, good looking page in the email, could be a hacker attempt as well, and you should only click if you know that it's coming from a legit company or a person you trust. And that's the easiest type of attack. You click that from a person you trust. That's the easiest type of attack, right? and it goes on sensitive word information, SPF record, center program framework. So these are all the protections that if you turn on, then it will check that what kind of material is coming to your mailbox, and should you be connecting, should the end user be allowed to connect or click those or not. So conditional sender ID filtering, hard fail, and NDR, non-delivery report backscatter. Sometimes non-delivery report is there and says that, hey, can you open this report? Your email never reached the person you intended to reach. When you click that NDR report, it's actually a link that opens backdoor for the hacker to access your machine. Many ways to attack, all those that are very well known for the protection from those attacks. The advanced options shows all these. So you should just do your own research as well, that exactly what are you blocking there, and then enable it. So we get that this is the advanced options here, and that is the spam filter. So we can take screenshot number 5 as spam filter with the advanced options showing there. So screenshot number 5, so spam filter advanced options is a title there. Screenshot number 5, spam filter advanced options, spam filter advanced options. So this is a screenshot. Take the screenshot here. I'll take a sample screenshot now. The spam filter advanced options. Screenshot 5. Mail server. Okay, so we keep going. So you can see that a lot of security mechanisms are there to protect company emails from getting under attack. So I'm just gonna cancel out from there. If you have taken the screenshot of the spam filter advanced options, I'm gonna click cancel out. Then there is outbound spam also showing there. It also says that your new home is security and compliance. So it is still loading, I think, or it is already. So is it loading for you guys? Yes. I click spam filter and then click outbound spam and quarantine. Yeah, it loads. So nothing loading too. Okay. Nothing loading. Ooh. Okay, I got 2. Not loading. Okay, so that's 2 users. So this means that it has been moved already, and they actually acted on this one. So what we can do is we can. So if I click, if I hover the mouse over here, so it's all clickable area. So what we're expecting is it should take us to Security and Compliance Center, right? And please use the updated experience and anti-spam page to modify it. So this is the anti-spam page that we need to click, guys. So if it's not loading, that this one has been moved. So once we go there, so we're gonna check out how is it different here, there, and how is it here. So we know how it is here. So I'm gonna click that anti-spam page now, and expecting it to land on security and compliance anti-spam page. I'm gonna click that anti-spam page. So yes, it does show here anti-spam, and that setting is inside threat management. It's inside policy and mail filtering. Okay. Okay. So there's mail filtering here, and it brought us to the anti-spam page. And there's a new home that we were talking about, and default spam filter, connection filter policy, outbound spam. This was the outbound spam, and spoof intelligence policy. So that's if I go back there, so there's quarantine, action center, Dkim is also there. So I'm just gonna go back to where we were, and we can just create. So there's an outbound policy already showing there, and there's a create policy here. So if you go for create a policy first, create a policy, right? So it has all those features that we have been talking about till now. Allow list, block list, international spam properties applied to which users, and the name. So we have gone through this, but this is how it looks like in the Microsoft 365 Security and Compliance Center, right? It goes through that there. Oh, okay. So there's a break request. So Dylan says there's a break. Yes, there's a break. Alright, guys. So let's continue this after the break, and let's. So there's break. Class starts at. So 6:20. Yeah, quick question. Jacob says. Okay, after the course is done, will we still have the video on YouTube? Yes, it will always be there. It's forever there. Okay. Zooming now, so let's carry on with what's done. So I'll go ahead. So, well, we were there on the Security and Compliance Office 365 Admin Center. So, well, it's not written Admin Center, but yeah. So this is how the spam policy or the creator policy really looks like here, with all the same options that we've already talked about there in Site Exchange. But obviously, if in near future, those options will be gone from there in ExchangeOnline, and they have to be configured here within Security and Compliance Center. So I'm just going to cancel out from here. We don't have to be here because we already talked about all this there as well in ExchangeOnline, but that's how it looks like here. When we go for create outbound policy, so that is what if I compare that to in the ExchangeOnline, it's outbound spam. I'm gonna go back here. So let's click this create an outbound policy here. So suppose there is an employee in your company that is or that employee's mailbox is actually causing spam, outbound spam. So outbound spam is obviously your company, one of the mailboxes are actually sending spam from your company's Exchange server. So that's really bad reputation across many of the filters across the planet, which are updating their databases that which domains are known to be sending spam. So this is possible that any of your employees' mailbox, and without the knowledge of that employee as well, that the mailbox is actually sending a lot of spam to other employees or outside of your organization to other email addresses. So that is possible as well. So notifications, recipient limits, and automatic forwarding and applied to. So some of these options are there for outbound spam filter. There is that notification. If I go to the notification and click the down arrow, send a copy of suspicious outbound email messages to specific people. So do you want a copy of any message that is that has a suspicion of being spam? Do you want it to be sent to some of your specific mailboxes within your company? Notify specific people if a sender is blocked due to sending outbound spam. So obviously, if one of your employees is found to be sending spam outside, then that employee should be notified as well. So suppose you do find out that there's spam going from certain employee of your own company, you can add that employee's name and then send notification as well. If you go further down here, there's recipient limits here, and in the recipient limits, maximum number of recipients per user, specify 0 to use, defaults or a value between 0 and 10,000, external hourly limit, internal hourly limit, and day limit. Action when a user exceeds the specified limit. So suppose there were some spam emails going on, and you can actually put a limit there for that user, that you can send to this many recipients email. So external recipients, that means suppose if there were some spam going out, then you can just put that hey, this user can send to external 5 users only, because sometimes the mailbox is generating spam as well, and you're still investigating, but you can put a limit to that, how many recipients this user can send email to in a day, while you're investigating why spam is going out from this. It could be corrupt, it could be a script downloaded by some of the software and in the background, or in that script may be automatically running spam from this mailbox without the knowledge of the mailbox owner as well. So there are many possibilities there. Action when a user exceeds the specified limits. Restrict the user from sending mail till the following day. So suppose there are a number of recipients put there 555, and the user exceeds that limit. So the user's email would be, the user will not be allowed to send email, right? Automatic forwarding, and there is automatic forwarding there. Allow users to automatically forward messages outside the organization, for example, via an inbox rule. So allow users to automatically forward messages outside the organization, for example, via an inbox rule. So if you want some of the messages of the users to be automatically forwarded outside, so you can just check that here, or you want forwarding to be disabled for a certain user, or forwarding is enabled for a certain user. So you can normally forwarding is there, that if an email arrives in your mailbox and you have enabled forwarding there, so automatically that email also goes and is forwarded to another mailbox as well. So you want to enable forwarding, you want to disable forwarding for that user whose mailbox, for outbound spam, that is, right? This setting is all about outbound spam. And applied to who? So suppose all these settings you've done above, who do you apply to? So this overall setting is talking about outbound spam. If you found any employee in your company that has a mailbox that is sending knowingly or unknowingly that spam outside of your organization, so you should really quickly stop this, because if your company domain is once blacklisted as known to be sending spam, then your domain, you will have to really spend a lot of time to remove it from all the blacklist databases that are maintained across the internet, and say that okay, it was a mistake and we have rectified that, please can you take our domain out of the blacklist, because then nobody can send you an email, no client can send you an email on that domain, and you have to change the domain and update all your clients. So that's always then a bad reputation in the business as well. So I'm going to close this. We're going to close this outbound spam filter. So this is the anti-spam section that it was referring to again and again for that spam. So I'm just going to go back to this yellow envelope, and then there's a quarantine here. We're inside the protection, inside yellow envelope, which is the Exchange Admin Center, and it's the quarantine. So if any email is found to have quarantine, then you can just remove it from there, release that email from there as well. It also says that its new home is security and compliance quarantine page, but once the email is quarantined, obviously you can just release it from here whenever you want. Action Center here is just talking about if the Action Center loads, but it's not loading as well. So Action Center experience will be removed from the Exchange Admin Center. It's the same message again. And threat view page, review page to unblock restricted users and so on. So there's a threat review page. That's the new name for Action Center. Otherwise, the quarantine page is here in security and compliance as quarantine page. Outbound spam is anti-spam page. Spam filter is also anti-spam page. Connection filter is also anti-spam, and malware filter is also, it's actually anti-malware page. So that is different. So if I go to Action Center here, that is the new, because it's not going to load here, so let's go to threat review page here on Action Center, threat review page. So once we click that, and yes, it shows threat review page. And then it just says that the Action Center track phishing and malware campaigns aimed at your users and take appropriate action. So there's Action Center, and then there's a quarantine, review quarantine messages and decide whether you want to release them to one or more of the intended recipients, restricted users. Unblock users who have been blocked for sending too many messages marked as spam/bulk. So so this is just to this is all about if the action has been taken already, the email has been quarantined, the message has been quarantined, and the users have been restricted as well. If the users have been blocked, whose mailbox have been known to be having spam, malware, all this, so even the user can be blocked and you can unblock the user. So if we go to the Action Center here in the threat review, so I'm going to click that Action Center. Once I click on top of that, so obviously if any of the threat is there, you can review, right? So if Microsoft 365 detects any threat, it will mention here and you can then review. So otherwise, that's why we're not seeing anything here, and we don't have to do ourselves anything here. So we can go to this back button on the browser. And then there is quarantine. If we go inside the quarantine as well, so this is the same thing. If there was any message caught, then only you will be able to release it with the quarantine. There's also sort results by message ID, enter exact ID, address or subject. If there were so many messages here which have been quarantined. So I'm just gonna go back here. Obviously you won't find anything because there is no quarantine message yet. And restricted users, if there were blocked users, then you could unblock them as well, but this is the area. If we go inside, obviously there may not be any blocked user, and because there is no suspicious activity, supposed to be no suspicious activity here. Well, I'm just going to go back here because obviously none of the user was blocked. And malware trend. So these are all the independent reports. If there is anything reported, then you need to come here. If anything got quarantined or Action Center caught something and some user was blocked, then only you can come here and unblock, unquarantine, or take action on track phishing and malware campaigns if there was any detected there. So we get the idea that okay, this is where the reporting will happen and anything caught will be here, and we can review that or release that message as well. I'm going to go back to this admin center, Exchange Admin Center here, and then there is DKIM, which is Domain Key Identified Mail. Domain Keys Identified Mail. What does that mean? So it is an authentication process that can help protect both senders and recipients from forged and phishing email. How can it protect us from forged and phishing email? Add Dkm signatures to your domains so recipients know that email messages actually came from users in your organization and weren't modified after they were sent. So overall, what's the purpose of the DKIM is that if you add the DKIM signature here for this domain, so what will happen, or this domain, so what will happen is that you can tell that, hey, they are securely digitally signed domains here, and any email coming from the user of this domain is that email is actually coming from a legit domain. So you're telling your other recipients that, hey, our users which are sending using this domain to send emails, so this is legit domain, and hence our users emails are legit emails. They are not forged by any hacker. None of the hacker is pretending to be Alan Reed here with this domain. If the DKIM signature is there attached to the domain, this means that recipients should rest assured that this is a legit domain. This is not hacker forging it, and the end users all attached to this domain are actually legit end users. So the recipients can trust our emails coming from this domain if it is DKIM protected or domain keys identified mail, which is a digital signature on the domain. So if we visit that DKIM page here, this one, let's click that DKIM page. So here there is that domain. So if we select that domain, so it is authoritative. Authoritative just means that this Exchange server is authoritative to receive all the emails related to this domain. Or if we select this domain, so it's the same thing. If I click on top of that, if you click on top of this line here, so it says no DKIM keys for this domain, and rotate DKIM keys as well. So there is none that in terms of the keys. But the main thing here is, you know what? If I click that, I'm not able to actually put the keys there. Normally, what happens is that you select the domain, and either the DKIM is already configured here. This means that there's a domain signature, security signature already attached to this domain, and other users or the other email organization, the Exchange organization, can actually detect that, okay, so because there's a DKIM security signature attached to this domain, we are supposed to trust that this is coming from the correct domain. Nobody is forging or trying to act as this domain while he or she is not. So DKIM seems to be already configured here. So that seems to be our screenshot number 6. That ExchangeOnline DKIM settings, or just you can just put the title as DKIM. So that's our screenshot number 6, and it shows DKIM. How did I come here? From ExchangeOnline, I went to DKIM, and there I clicked the DKIM page, and that page opened, which is DKIM v2 written here, and we can take screenshot number 6 as, and the name is DKIM, which is domain keys identified mail. Domain keys identified mail. So I'll take a screenshot here. Screenshot 6. and domain keys. Okay, so that's the screenshot here. Go for okay. So once this protection related, all is covered, all features are covered, then we have advanced threats as well. That's it's just concerning about safe attachments and safe links. So pretty straightforward there. If so, protect files in SharePoint, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams, and turn on Advanced Threat Protection or ATP for SharePoint, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams. So ATP is Advanced Threat Protection. Turn on Safe Documents for Office clients, only available with Microsoft 365 E5 Enterprise 5 or 365 E5 security license. So it just says there for safe documents and for SharePoint as well, OneDrive, Microsoft Teams. But then there is protect email attachments as well, and set up an ATP safe attachments policy for specific users and groups. So this page is also showing here safe attachments page. So let's go for safe attachment page as well in the advanced threats, safe attachments, and then there is a safe attachments page. So here set up and safe attachments policy for specific users or groups. So it says that once we are on the safe attachment page here, let's click the create button here. So once we click the create, and we can just put your first name dash safe attachment. Your first name dash safe attachment. I'm going to Control A, select all, Control C, and click here and Control V. So your first name dash safe attachment here and here as well. So Keith says, how do you get there? So keep on Admin Center here, Advanced Threats, Safe Attachments, and this is the one. Hopefully you got it. So Advanced Threats, Safe Attachments, and then Safe Attachments page. If you have clicked this and this and this, then you should be here. Okay, cool. Now, oh, that's not safe attachment. This is safe attachment. So once you have, and then you have to click the create button here. Once you reach this page, you have to click a create button here. There was a create button that is hiding right now. So then you will see this page and your first name dash safe attachment, and then copy paste this here. Your first name safe attachment here as well. I'm gonna click next now. And then it says that what are your policies for safe attachments here, right? So off is attachment will not be scanned for malware. So that's not very good policy by default here. So if you were thinking that by default Microsoft must have a lot of very good security policies, yes, many areas they have some default protection policies there, but many areas they have turned off the policies, and you have to be knowledgeable that what policies are supposed to be turned on and off. So if so this is attachment will not be scanned for malware. So any attachment that is coming is not already being scanned. So if you go for monitor, continue delivering the message after malware is detected, track scan results. So this is just monitor, continue delivering the message after malware is detected. So it's just monitoring. This means you're not blocking after finding a malware, right? You're just reporting. So block is block the current and future email and attachments with detected malware. So whatever is detected, just block that email, right? Or replace, block the attachments with detected malware, continue to deliver the message. So that's also good, that if the attachments have malware, so you simply remove them, block them, remove the malware, and the attachment itself you have to remove, but you can let the message go. So the message will receive to the recipient, but attachment will not be there actually. And there should be a notification there that the malware was found, so attachment has not been delivered to you. Yes, that is really, suppose you're testing this environment, it's a total test environment, and you're sending a lot of emails, then monitor. Otherwise, that option should not be there, because malware is a serious threat as well. So definitely, this is strange. And the dynamic delivery here, and deliver the message without attachments immediately and reattach once scan is complete, right? So this is also very good, that you remove the message, remove the attachment, send the message, and then you scan the attachment. If the scan is okay, suppose it's taking long time because there's a bit bigger file in the attachment, or maybe you zipped it and then zipped that zip file and then zipped that zip two-layer zip file, and or maybe you just kept on zipping until 3 or 4 layers of so in that case it will take longer time to really scan. So it will remove the file, scan it, and let the message go, and when suppose the file is clean, it will simply send the attachment or make the attachment available to your message as well. So that's very good. Now these are very cool, like very critical options there. So there's a redirect attachment on detection as well. Send the blocked, monitored, or replace attachment to an email address. So suppose you want for the block, replace, and monitor as well, you want to send those. If the malware is found, you want to send these type of messages to another email address as well. You want to redirect them as well, so you can mention an email address here. So I'm just gonna put that page up there. So this would be our screenshot number 7, safe attachment policy. Screenshot 7, safe attachment policy of this screenshot number 7, safe attachment policy. So screenshot 7, save attachment policy. Safe attachment. Okay, so the thing is that then you normally we wanted to explore all the options here. That what is that safe attachment policy that is not available in Exchange and has been moved here. Apply the above selection if malware scanning for attachment times out or error occurs. So suppose there's an error and it was not you were not able to scan. So you can also if you've selected some mailbox here, that if the scan is not complete, it will redirect that message or attachment to another mailbox. It will not that message will not read that email address, to another email address, and that message will not be sent to that user. or that attachment will not be sent to that user if the whole email is not blocked. Okay, so suppose you have selected the replace, and then I'll click next here. So enable redirect option should be selected when apply the above selection if malware scanning for attachments times out. Okay, so it just says that it should be selected, but we did not. Then it says apply to specify the users, groups, or domains for whom this policy applies by creating recipient-based rules. Normally, you should be checking malware. You should be checking for attachment. Back for a second. Okay, back. Then it says back for a second, and I selected replace. That's it. Alright, cool. And normally it says that you should put that mailbox here as well. Specify the users, groups, or domains for whom this policy applies by creating recipient-based rules. I'm gonna click add a condition. So applied if so there's a specify the users, groups, or domains for whom this policy applies by creating recipient-based rules. So there is that the recipient is selecting the recipient is, and the thing is that who do you want to apply it on, and so if I go for recipient is, and then we can just choose any recipient that is the receiver of the email, right? So receiver would be on our side and the email is coming from outside. So suppose we go for any local user. Normally we don't select one or two users, it's supposed to be all, right? But just to have an example, okay, we can select someone here. Otherwise, recipient domain that should be our domain. So for that domain, any email that is coming, that should be checked for malware, for safe attachments. So it should be the full domain here. Suppose I click the domain as well. I just click the domain as well right now. But I'm just gonna close that, and we just wanted to check that what is the policy there, and what are the actual options that they're talking about, and who to implement. Obviously on the whole domain it makes sense to implement. Why implementing safe attachments on just few users or few groups there? So overall I just wanted to show that we had a screenshot already of the settings there, so we get the idea what is safe attachment policy here. I'm just gonna click cancel out from here. We understand what it is, we don't need to really implement it right now, so I'm just gonna cancel out from here and press yes. And this was the safe attachments here, and I'll click the create here. So we have created we've checked this by clicking the create, so we've done that already. So I'm just gonna close this save attachments page in security and compliance. I'm gonna close that. I'm also closing the domain keys or whatever extra pages that I've opened in security and compliance. There was a review page as well. Okay, there was a lot of pages we have opened. So you can close it, you can keep it open, up to you. But we're back to the yellow envelope, the Exchange Admin Center here, where the safe attachment has been moved away from to the Security and Compliance Center. So other than the advanced threats, there's safe attachments and there's a safe links here as well, right? So safe attachments we talked about, but there's safe links. If we click the safe links here, well, that's what kind of URLs are safe, what kind of URLs are not safe. Okay, so safe links have a new home and improved functionality by December. Safe links experience will be removed from the Exchange Admin Center, same thing. So there's a safe links page here as well. Since everything is moving, so what is Exchange really going to have? So I'm just going to click that save link. Actually, you know what? This save links page is here as well. But since maybe some of you may have clicked it already, so I'm just going to click save links page. Takes us back to security and compliance. And this is also kind of the same page there, but it's clearly saying save links. Before it was save attachments. So if I click that create here for save links, and you know, we just need to check that. So okay, let's go for your first name and save links. Copy, paste, next. So you put a name and you click next, right? So what is this then? Select the action for unknown potentially malicious URLs in messages. And yes, there are many unknown messages sometimes there, and coming from your friends, from our friends, and maybe they were forwarded because there was an interesting picture or video attached or some information, and there are some extra links that were forwarded from somewhere and kept on being forwarded to others. So if you turn it on, URLs will be rewritten and checked against a list of known malicious links when user clicks on the link. So if the user clicks, if you turn this feature on,
Excuse me, please. What's the link's name?
Link's name, yeah, it's this. Your first name, save links, and then paste it here in description as well. And let's go ahead. So I'm just going to click next. Here, select the action for unknown potentially malicious URLs, and that just means that suppose you turn it on. So if you do click that, if the end user does click that URL, so it will be checked. The URL being clicked will be first checked if it is one of the known malicious URLs or not, and then you will see it being opened fully, or you would it will be blocked if it is actually from the known list of malicious URLs. It will be blocked and will not open, and you will get a message as well. So if this is turned on, if you go for the select the action for unknown or potentially malicious URLs within Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams is a application where well, pretty much majority of the companies are using that nowadays, and this is where you can do collaboration, and so if somebody is, you can do chat as well, you can share files and add apps there, so all that. So the thing is that Microsoft Teams will check against, if you turn it on, then Microsoft Teams will check against a list of known malicious links when user clicks on a link. And URLs will not be rewritten. Currently in preview for customers in the Microsoft Teams Technology Adoption Program, TAPI. Actually TAP, Technology Adoption Program. Okay, so well, you have to just check that what's going on here. Apply real-time URL scanning for suspicious links and links that point to files. Wait for URL scanning to complete before delivering the message. So apply safe links to email messages sent with the organization, and do not track user clicks. Do not allow users to click through to original URL. So there are so many of those URLs, so many types of securities there, that if there's a suspicious URL, how do you want to react to that? And you want to write it down, or do not rewrite. Rewrite just means that first you the message arrives, you copy paste or cut paste it, and then scan it, and then you paste it back or rewrite it in the message, and then you let it send or let it open. So do you want this process to go on or not? So normally users and your organizations are hacked through this. That is one simple URL and user just simply clicks it. If there are these kind of securities in place, then we can't trust the end user, right? The end user will go there, okay, it's not, so what, I'll just click that, okay, let's see what's inside. And it could be a hacker URL that's going to take over some of the machines of your organization, some of the resources of your organization. So these kind of settings should be in place for that kind of scenarios where users just don't care and they just click the link. As far as they're coming from a friend, that's all, right? Maybe it was forwarded to a friend, to that friend as well, and maybe it was forwarded to that person as well, and to that, I don't know where it was coming from, and it had some interesting information, but also a URL that kept on being forwarded, and everyone, majority of them, clicked it, and it was a malicious URL, so we don't know. So these kind of securities should be in place to check every URL that is being clicked. Okay, so that's very interesting and very critical as well, that how do you really stop hacker attacks on your organization, malware's attacks there especially. Well, if you have selected these two, then click next, and then pretty much the main setting is the previous one. This is just saying on whom do you want to apply. Obviously to your whole domain you may want to apply, and there's exception there as well. So if we go for the recipient domain is if we click that recipient domain and then choose, if I click the choose, so it, and then it doesn't show me the domain name that our is, but if we click the add button, now it shows our domain. So I just wanted to show you that it does show the domain if you keep on clicking that. I'm going to cancel out from here. We don't need to come here. I'm going to cancel out from here as well. So just wanted to show that what is safe links policy, and that's really critical. That's one of the, we can say, vulnerabilities in our security configurations that causes the company accounts to get hacked easily. Because if these protections are not enabled, so you can see that it's not enabled right now, right? So if you're thinking that Microsoft is protecting everything, so no, Microsoft is not responsible for protecting everything. Microsoft expects that you should be knowledgeable, the administrator should be knowledgeable and enable those options. The options are there, they're just not turned on right now. So you have to enable them yourself. You have to be that admin that is carefully enabling all the critical options of security. So I'm going to click cancel out of this one as well. I press yes. If we go back to this safe links here, the yellow envelope, let's go back to the Exchange Admin Center or the yellow envelope icon there. And so safe attachments, very critical, but it was turned off. Safe links, critical, but was also turned off. So you as an administrator need to do that. And if you didn't do that and some kind of breach happens and investigated that, okay, because of it was because of malicious link clicked, and then it will come down to you that didn't you know that to enable these safe attachment, safe links options, and why were they not enabled? So okay, so this is in advanced threats, and then we come down to mail flow here. So mail flow is you can see there's a rule already created there, and that is not what we just created now here in the rules section, but it was created as a financial data rule. So if there is a bank information leaving our organization, it should be detected in the email, and then either a warning should be given to that user or the email should not be allowed to leave the organization. So what we created back there in compliance management in data loss prevention, DLP, ended up there here in mail flow in the rules section. So rules are there for the emails that are in transit. Mail flow and rules are there for emails that are in transit. There's a at rest data that is not moving, and there's a in transit data that is moving, right? So rules, and then there is the plus sign here. So then there's message trace, URL trace, accepted domains, remote domains, connectors. But if we go to plus sign here, so there's a create a new rule. There is apply Office 365 message encryption and rights protection to messages. So your messages in mail flow area, normally your messages, and especially in the rules area, your messages are actually traveling, and either they are leaving your organization and they're on the move, or they're entering your organization and they're about to reach a mailbox. So they are moving and you want to put some more changes there to a moving message. Then you come there to the rules. So some of the examples there are so many examples of what you can put there. Bypass spam filtering, apply disclaimers. Normally the disclaimer is applied when you have clicked the send button on your email and the email is being sent out now, and a disclaimer is normally attached to that email in transit, and that disclaimer is normally of a company. You may have seen that a lot, that this mail is intended for the recipient and it is from this domain. Okay, so we go to the create a new rule, and we need to go for some examples of rule here, so I'm just going to click that create a new rule, and we need to understand that the rules are there to apply on a email that is in transit. So what are the scenarios here? There's a lot of scenarios. So if we go for, in fact, instead of putting the name here, if I just show first of all this, apply this rule if the sender is whoever the sender is, or the recipient is whoever the sender is located, the recipient is located, the sender is a member of, recipient is a member of, subject or body includes, the sender address includes, the recipient address includes, any attachments content includes. So this is like the if statement here, that if that is the case, then do this action, right? So suppose we go for if the recipient is. So I'm going to select the if the recipient is, and this opens up that, hey, who's the recipient then? Obviously. So our Outlook is open right now, right? This Outlook is open. So we can just give our mailbox as a recipient. I'm going to go to the search here and put our name. I think it's Amir. Your first name admin. Okay, just type the name. Yes, your first name admin, right? So because our Outlook is open, and we can actually see that policy in action as well. So I'm going to double click that, select the currently logged in account's name here, and press OK. So suppose this policy or new rule is about if the recipient is, then what? What do you want to do? So if the recipient is that administrator, and what are the actions? Forward the message for approval to. So there's an approval message that can be forwarded to someone else. Redirect the message to. So suppose the email was intended for this administrator, but you can actually redirect it to some other email, right? Reject the message with an explanation. Ouch. Somebody sent an email to this administrator, and the message would be just, so any email that is sending to this administrator would be rejected with an explanation as well. So whoever sends that email will be, getting the explanation. Delete the message without notifying anyone. So that's another ouch. So that administrator doesn't get that message then at all. The message is deleted before reaching the mailbox of this recipient. And BCC the message too. So that's obviously the spying thing, that you want to secretly have the message, whatever message is sent here should be BCC'd or blind carbon copy, or the message should be secretly sent to someone else. Append the disclaimer. You can just change the disclaimer as well. So we can just choose any of those scenarios here. So what we can do is we can go for either the reject the message, or we can go for BCC the message to, right? So if we select the BCC the message to, and whoa, it actually does not open for me. Why? Okay, so BCC the message to, and there's a select people here written for me because that window that opened did not. So okay, it's still not opening for me. BCC the message to. I go delete the message with confusion. BCC the message to. Wow, guys, are you getting this 543 as well, or is it just me? Oh, so you're not getting this. Ouch. That's not fair. So it's just me. That's not good. I'm so hard now. Okay. I'll select something else, and then I'll come back here. Oh, now it's good. Okay. Well, you know what? So BCC the message to someone else as well. Seriously. Okay. We need to still open some other mailbox. So, well, it could be anyone else's mailbox now. So we can go for Alan Reed's mailbox. So suppose Alan Reed is your boss, and any message coming to the admin will also be BCC'd or blindly carbon copied to Alan Reed as well. So obviously, when we send a message to the administrator, we have to open the Alan Reed's mailbox and check it out if the message reached there as well. So I'm just gonna press OK after selecting Alan Reed here. So this is the rule. The recipient is this, and BCC the message to this as well. And properties of this rule. Audit this rule with severity level. So maybe auditing is severity level is high. Suppose I go for this high, medium, low, whichever you want. So I'm just going for high. And do you want to actually enforce this rule now, or test with policy tips, test without policy tips? Policy tips, just some extra information comes up on the top when you're testing it. So let's just go for enforce. And if you click the more options here, and then there is add action. So we already added an action. Then accept if there's an exception there as well, and audit this rule with severity level this high, enforce, and activate this rule on the following date. You want to activate it on yeah.
Excuse me. The Alan Reed, is it just for you, or are we just
Yeah, that's for everyone.
I don't see that on
Oh yes, okay, sorry. You don't see that, so I'll go for, so guys, we can go for your first name 01. Those who have selected Alan Reed, it's okay if you have those. Otherwise, that's a good point. I'm just gonna go for your first name 01 or 02, whichever mailbox you wanna select. And yeah, so 02. Okay, I will go for 02. You can also go for 02. And I'll remove Alan Reed. Oh, I should have replaced it. And Alan Reed, I just went for that. So check name and add. Oh, there's a remove there, and there's a remove there. Did I move two? The first name, enter. Okay, there's one now. Okay. Oh. Okay, so this user 02 is there, and then we go down to enforced. Just make sure it is enforced. High, low, it doesn't really matter here for auditing. We're not scheduling it at different time. We just need to check it now. Stop processing more rules. Defer the message if rule processing doesn't complete. So, well, if there were other rules also put there, and if this rule is applied, you can also stop processing other rules. Or you can let, suppose there were multiple rules applied, we're just applying one rule there. And then comment. So everything else is okay. We enforced this. We're enforcing this, and so what we're expecting is that we're gonna send an email to this admin, and the email should reach the admin as well as this other mailbox. So once this rule is created, so what we can do is we can go to our Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, Outlook. I think that is also open on your side. So you can send an email by grabbing that full email address of this admin, and when that email comes from Gmail, Outlook, it should be copied here as well to this mailbox. So I'm going to click save here. I'm going to click save here now. Okay, you can see also that when you create a rule, there's a priority here as well, and we can put this on the top priority, right? So there's it is already selected, and you can see the arrows here as well. So if I click the arrow, okay, one by one it goes up. Seriously, that is the slowest process. If you want to reach the top, whoa, good luck. Oh, did I delete it? Where is it? Where's... Hey, did I not click it? It's totally gone. Are you kidding me? What? Where's my rule? I put it up and it went up in error. What? Is that happening to you? Oh, the rule is gone. Serious. Wow. Okay, I'll... Oh, so that... Is that recent? No? 714, yeah. One no here. So the rule is not gone for you, but it's... Oh, did I click delete? Ouch. I thought I was clicking up arrow. Okay. Oh, hey, there it is. Now it's appearing. Maybe I'm just blind or it just appeared now. So, oh yeah. Oh, it's not there? Because it just appeared now to me. Oh, it's down here. Okay. For Gideon. So guys, I was just thinking of putting it up there to the top, and it appeared to the second level, fifth level actually after some time. So how about if I uncheck that? Oh, serious. All the other rules which we don't need, and so it would be on the top, right? But that also is taking forever to do that. Okay, let's forget that. We need to put it on top. That's gonna take a long time. So I just wanted to put it on top here so it could be done first, but it's not going to take that much time to go through this and reach this, right? So as long as this is not, make sure it is checked and this is there, that's all we need. So what we need to do is let's go to the Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo, wherever, and you need to copy this user. Now, why is this weird domain name coming here? Amir domain.local. Was that the domain name that we had? How come it's .local here? Wasn't it the long .onmicrosoft.com? So it's not a legit domain. Yeah, okay. So this domain name is suspicious for me, but I don't know how come a .local is there. Do you see a .local on your side? I think you're seeing the full domain name, right? I may have selected the wrong user then. I'll copy that, but I don't think there will be an email coming this way if I put that. So guys, I'm gonna go to the Gmail. I'm gonna send an email to this user, right? Yeah, it should be on. See, full domain name. Yeah. So I'm just gonna double click that, and I'm just gonna change it to the user that had the full domain name. I think that was your first name. Yeah, this is the one. And I'll remove the first one, and I'll save it. So guys, go ahead and send an email to this admin from your Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. Did it receive there? If it did, then check that other mailbox if the email was BCC'd, blind carbon copy to this other mailbox as well. So I'm just gonna copy this whole email and take it to my Gmail on the other screen. My Gmail is open on the other screen. And I'll compose subject testing, and send. So I've just put some testing message there, so it should arrive here, and then we have to open the mailbox, other one, and that same should arrive there as well in my other mailbox. So an email from Gmail is coming to this mailbox. So I'm just going to refresh the whole mailbox to see if other has that. No, my analytics, or hopefully did not reach the junk mail here. I'll refresh that again. So it could take some time before. Oh, there you go. So testing arrived here. Now, did it arrive on the other mailbox? For that, I need to open the other mailbox. So the other mailbox is, I'm going to check that. Where's the other mailbox? This is the full other mailbox. Your first name 02, Control C. I have to go to the other browser and open portal dot. I'll have to sign out from this. And then I'll switch to a different account, yeah. Small ABC, capital ABC, ship 123, without ship 123. And I'll go for Outlook. So does it work? Oh, what is this? I was logged into that wrong email. So yes, it works. The testing is here as well. So BCC, the rule was applied there, and that testing email is actually here as well. So that's very good. So the mail flow rules for in-transit emails do work, and it shows here. So okay, so hopefully it worked for you guys as well. Okay, yes, okay, there's a yes. So guys, this is good. Well, just to let's go back to our this organization here, and so this is an example of rules. There are so many other rules as well. Create a rule, apply disclaimers, bypass spam setting, but we need to just make sure that we understand it is for emails in transit. And if I click the create rule again, if I go to rules and then click the plus sign and go to click the create new rule again, so it's just what are the actions? Forward the message for approval to, redirect the message to, reject the message with the explanation, what we talked about before, right? And for whom? Or for any of these scenarios, sender, recipient is, or located is, member is, subject or body includes. If that subject is included, like whatever subject you put there. So if that is a subject, then send it to, then do these actions. So if BCC works, obviously all the other will also work, and we understand that how to implement the rule on an in-transit email that is moving or traveling over the network, right? So I'm just going to cancel out from here, and then there is a message trace here, and with message trace it's just we can track the message of a user, and it says try out the simplified and improved message trace experience in the new Exchange Admin Center. This version of message trace will be retired soon. What's the view pending or complete trace? So what's the main purpose of this? So you want to trace the message that did it reach that other mailbox, or suppose it was sent from one mailbox to another, so was it delivered or not for past 48 hours. So suppose you go for message, there's a message ID that can be placed there. Delivery status is suppose you're looking for an email that has been delivered, or you're looking for a message that failed to receive to be received by the recipient, that is pending. The message is pending. Expanded, message was actually opened. Quarantined, or message was filtered as spam. Or getting status, you want just get a status of the message. Suppose you go for delivered message, right? So delivered message, when was the message sent? Suppose there's a complaint there that one user is saying, hey, I sent that message in the morning at 10 a.m. and to another employee in the same company, and the other employee is saying that that he or she received it at 2 p.m. right? So it was like after 4 hours the employee in the same company received that message for whatever reason in the background was happening, but that was too much delay. That's a very huge delay. Sometimes it does happen that message, instead of reaching in seconds, is reaching in hours. So then you can trace the message that hey, where's the message? Sometimes the users think that the recipient thinks that the message never arrived, or the sender says I sent the message, but the recipient says I did not receive it in the same organization. So then you can trace the message, and the message gets traced to that recipient's some junk mail, or recipient's private folder. So there are some policies on the recipient's mailbox that actually because of that the recipient did not receive or see the email while the email is actually sitting in the mailbox. So there are some of the scenarios there that emails were sent and delivered. So here it says, first of all, if we go for delivery status, that I want to trace an email that was actually delivered from who. So who was the sender? If we go to the sender and click add sender, so well, the sender was actually our mail contact, right? So I sent it from Gmail. Can I add that? No, I have to select from here to, so it's going to only go for internal company investigation, right? So suppose the sender is this guy, the admin that we are logged in from, right? So if I go for the logged in user, that is this, your first name admin, that person is the sender. Okay, and the recipient, who's the recipient? So who did we send email from there? We sent it to a lot of people, right? If I go to my mailbox here and go to sent items, right, just to check out that oh yeah, I sent it to sales department and mostly to outside. Oh, I sent it to your first name 01 as well in the sent items of this. So I'm just gonna put that your first name 01 as the mail, the other email. We just did that exercise, right? So I'm going to go for recipient as your first name 01. Okay, I think that's also ER. So your first name 01. So I sign my sent mail that this is the one. So I'm just going to press OK. So what I'm saying is, please trace a message that was delivered, that was sent from this user and delivered to this user, so we know that it was delivered. So but the message trace will tell us that how long it took for the message to be delivered, if it is able to put that or search that. So I'm just going to click the search here, and yes, there's a report here that it was delivered at this time, 10:19 p.m. Are you kidding me? And okay, the date is correct, the time is incorrect, so it could be because of the time of our. Okay, so yeah, that is it. And well, there's a report there, which is good. So tracing does show that if it was delivered, suppose we're going for delivered emails, and actually the email was not delivered, so it will not show here as well, right? So I'm going to click close here, and yes, so this was the time and this was the date. So it was only supposed to trace for today only, right? So, well, this is a message trace. It's a simple one. You put the sender one, and you can also put the message ID there as well. So message ID, where is that actually? Message ID. Suppose you did receive a message, but you want to trace that. So if I go to Outlook here, Outlook, right? And I received a message here, right? This message I received. If I go to the three dots of the received message and receive message, right? And view message details. So there's I am in the Outlook, and then there's a message that I received. Then go to three dots here, three dots. Then you go down to view and view message details, right? Hopefully everyone got it. View and view message details of a received message. Once you click the view message details here, so there is supposed to be a message ID in this mess. So we can just control F this, suppose a message ID. Normally it shows here down somewhere the message ID. It's clearly written message ID as well. Up there you can see very like it's difficult to track that, but message ID is written here. If I go way down here, no. So but I'm looking for the word message ID, which I already showed you as well, but normally it is clearly written separately as well. So Exchange says the return path, content type, the email, testing subject, message ID. Okay, see this, guys. Message ID is this. Were you able to check it out? So where is it? If I go from the top, oh man, if I keep coming down until I reach from date, message ID, subject to, wherever that from date message ID subject to, right? I think that's not on the top here anywhere, so you have to go further down here. Yes, the only lines are in the middle of this message. So select this and then take a screenshot of the message ID. I know that's a bit challenging. Hopefully it's not. Everyone was able to find it. So this is very important majority of the time to investigate why the message came late. And in fact, when the user launches a ticket and launches a complaint that, hey, can you tell me why I received this email 2 hours late? So then you ask as an administrator, can you send me the message ID? And the end user then asks the desktop support guys, okay, what is he talking about? So then the desktop person comes there, and he or she just goes to this area and copies the message ID and sends this to the administrator, and administrator does it, put that ID in the message trace, and then the trace tells that why the user was receiving an email 2 hours late, right? So the message ID is very important when you're doing a trace there. So let's take a screenshot number 8.
Excuse me, I wasn't even able to get there. Should I take this screenshot?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'll just take this screenshot here of the message ID covered, and so the title of the screenshot would be message ID, just the message ID. That's the title. And I'll go for screenshot. Can't find the email? No, Gideon, any email, right? So if you go for any email, so whatever email you received in the inbox, any email, suppose this is the email, suppose this is the email, suppose this is the email, anyone, click that, go to the three dots, view, and view message details, right? Once you open that, then we keep going down, and this is very big written message ID here, right? And if we go from to, well, normally yes, this is it. Sometimes we have to do this work as well, and it is pretty well, administrators don't get paid for nothing, right? So we have to know where we have to go and what to do. If it's not complicated, why would they give you a good job? Okay, so message ID here. Well, that was another email where the message ID was a bit up and down here showing. So okay, I've taken that screenshot already. I'm just gonna go back here and screenshot 8, and message ID is the name, and just put that there. Mail server. Screenshot 8. Okay, and we go back. So I'm just gonna close that. We got that for the message trace. You need to go for message ID if you want to grab that. So for any received email already, you can just go to view and then, right? So if you go back to the admin center, Exchange Admin Center, which is the yellow envelope tab there. So there's message trace, and then there is URL trace as well. And URL trace is just whenever it opens, URL trace. So you can see that it's the same trace page setting, but it just says that, hey, if you had a URL of some type in the email, so you can just put that URL there. Suppose that's a full URL of some, suppose I go back here to this, and obviously every email has some URLs there, and well, I'm just going for any URL. Actually, this it's not a full URL showing there. If I go down here, there could be some URLs, actually clear URLs, right? So, and you can trace those URLs. These are just we can click on any one of those as well, or if it's actual HTTPS and something like that, so it could trace that too. Will it trace if I go for copy link address? This is not actual URL, it's just well, anyway, you can just grab a URL from anywhere and try to click it. Now these are the URLs. Obviously I'm just gonna go for one. Suppose I go for copy link address for any of the received email. I just copy that, right? And I go there and put that address. So it's a long one. And I'm gonna click plus. So I grabbed it from an email. I right clicked and click the copy address, right? You don't have to do that, I'm just showing you. So I'll click the search, and it was actually not able to exactly see this one because it was a written statement there, and so that's why it was not able to see that. But anyway, if the URLs are placed exactly this way, then it will be able to trace the mailboxes where, or emails where a URL like this would have been mentioned. So accepted domains, now this is, we have simplified and improved the accepted domain management, but what is accepted domain? Normally accepted domain is that for this domain, this Exchange Admin Center is the only responsible enterprise email solution or email management solution. So this Exchange Admin Center or this Microsoft 365 is the sole responsible software to receive and send and receive any emails for that domain. So accepted domain just means that this Exchange server accepts this domain as its own, and this Exchange server is only the one on planet Earth responsible for receiving emails related to this domain. So any Exchange server you have the domain added as accepted domain just means that this is the authoritative. This Exchange server is the authoritative. No other Exchange server is now supposed to be responsible for this domain for receiving and sending email. Only this Exchange server is responsible for that. So now you see that we didn't add it here, it's just there already, those domains there, right? So this means that when the domain was created, the free domain, or if you add the domain as a tenant from, suppose you purchase it from GoDaddy.com or any other domain registrar, so that domain normally gets added here. And if we go for remote domains, so that is if you want this Exchange server to forward, to receive emails from outside and send it and forward it to some other Exchange server as well. So if I go for this default, select that and go to edit, right? And so it says here, specify a domain that will be considered remote when mail is received. So which domain are you considering as remote? Suppose it is also called email relay, and normally we're not supposed to offer our Exchange server as a relay, but what does it really mean? So remote domain just means that suppose you have a Toronto branch here, and Toronto branch also has Exchange server here, and that Exchange server is not receiving emails directly from the internet. This Exchange server is actually connected to this Exchange Center, Admin Center, and this Exchange Admin Center is receiving emails from internet. So all the emails from internet are being first received here to this Exchange Admin Center, and in the remote domains area here, you have mentioned that Exchange server name for the Toronto branch Exchange server. So so this means that this admin center will not receive these emails in the mailboxes here. It will simply receive from internet. It will forward it to the remote domain, which could be your Exchange server branch. It could be the remote domain, could be another Office 365 subscription there. It could be another Office 365 subscription as well. So which is not receiving emails from internet, but so remote domain would be the other domain for which you're receiving the emails, and then you're forwarding the emails to that remote domain. So that would be it. But your Exchange server will be just the middle guy to receive the email and then simply forward it to the other domain. And then there comes the connectors here, and the connectors are just if you want to connect your on-premises Exchange organization, then you can create the connectors. If I go for the plus sign here, so it says specify your mail flow scenario, and we'll let you know if you need to set up a connector or not. So there is a select an item, there is a Office 365, your organization's email server, partner organization, internet. So it shows all these configurations there as well, that your organization's email server, this is an email server that you manage. It's often called an on-premises server. So if you want to select the on-premises server, then to Office 365. So it says there, from your Toronto branch email server, Exchange email server, to your Office 5, if you want to create a mail flow, then it says you need to create a connector for this mail flow scenario. If you go for partner organization to Office 365, then it says creating a connector is optional for this mail flow scenario. Create a connector only if you want to enhance security for the email messages sent between your partner organization or service provider. And if you go for internet, so if you want to receive from email from internet directly to Office 365, so you do not need to create a connector for this mail flow. It's already set up for you. So these are the scenarios here that it shows that in what scenario. So only for on-premises you need to create a connector, and for other cases you don't have to. I'm just going to click cancel out from here. And mostly the critical options are till here that we need to cover. And then there is mobile. Mobile device access is if you have registered your mobile devices with the Microsoft Intune, that is the MDM solution. New name for that is MDM, means mobile device management. MDM, mobile device management. So so if you have registered your devices to mobile device management solutions, then your device, and you have Outlook installed in your devices, it will then show here. You can even send a remote wipe to your devices from here, but you have to have that MDM or mobile device management solution in place for the mailbox policies, mobile device policies to be placed there. If you go down to public folders, so public folders and public folder mailboxes. So public folders is kind of a feature that is going to be discontinued, and the main thing here to understand is that you can share your tasks on this. So I'm going to show you here public folder mailboxes. Let's go for the plus sign. This is obviously the last lab. If I go to the plus sign here for public folder, right? So your first name dash public folder, your first name public folder, and click save. So first you create a mailbox, but what is the purpose of public folder? Again, to share tasks, to share calendar, but it is being replaced by SharePoint, it is being replaced by Teams, and to share those tasks and calendar better. So first you create a public folder mailbox. Once you create that, let's go to public folders as well. I'm going to show you, and then you will see that, oh, that's what it is. So when you go to the public folders, we can click the plus sign here, right? We can click the plus sign, and suppose it's sales, DEPT, sales department is a public folder. So this public folder appears in your Outlook, right? So sales department, that's it. I'm going to click save. You just put sales department, that's it. You click save. Saving complete successfully. Press O and K. You can make this public folder not only share tasks and calendar, but also receive emails as well. You can also work on this public folders folder permissions. So if you go for sales department and there's a folder permissions here, then I'm going to click manage. So sales department folder, public folder, and then folder permissions is manage. So if we click the manage, so you will see all the permissions, and we can just add ourselves as the owner. So go ahead and click the plus sign. Go ahead and click the plus sign in the permissions. And you will see that there's a publishing editor, reviewer, contributor, non-editing author, editor, publishing author, publishing editor, so custom. If I go to reviewer, right, so you can see that these are the tasks a reviewer can do. If I go to owner, so all the tasks owner can create items, read items, create subfolders, edit edit all, folder owner, contact owner, visible owner, delete all. So who is the owner? So if you have selected the owner, go ahead and select the owner, then click browse and just add your own currently logged in admin, right? So I'm going to click browse here, and I'll go for a first name. Okay, here first name admin. So our currently logged in user is the owner of this public folder. Okay, so what does it do? So let's click save. Let's click save here, and then save here as well, right? Okay, that seems to be done from my side. Okay, so where is the public folder? Now we need to go inside the Outlook here. We need to go inside the Outlook, and we need to check where the public folder actually appears here. So if you go to the favorites area, right, and right click, oh okay, seriously, are you kidding me? Guys, are you able to right click on the favorites area? No? Okay, go to the folders area and right click. Go to the folders area and right click, and you see what? Add public folder to favorites. So we cannot right click on favorites to do that, but we right click on folders to add a public folder to favorites. Okay, well actually it is the folders area, and this is called public folder. So if you were able to search that folders, right click and then click add public folder to favorites, let's click that add public folder to favorites. So can't complete your request. Are you kidding me? No public folders are available. Check that a public folders deployment exists. Oh, I did not detect yet. Okay, did we refresh that? If I go to the yellow envelope here and have subfolders, main enable, refresh. It has not been reached here. Refresh. So first I refreshed here, and then I'll go to Outlook and refresh the whole Outlook now. Where there's a refresh button on the top of the browser level, just refresh that browser level button as well. Are you able to add that public folder now? I'm going to go to the folder and right click again here and go to add public folder. Seriously? Are you kidding me? Guys, no one? So I did not detect till now. I think we were expecting too much or too early. It worked for me? Okay. Oh, and it says no uses were, yes, enable mail settings. Well, public folder does have, work even if you don't enable mail settings. It just works fine. But it's just that we're expecting it too early to be available here, I guess. So if I right click here again after refreshing this whole page again, and I'll right click again, and no. So one day, Monday or Sunday, it's gonna be there, but not right now. So this is how public folder is created. If you go back to the yellow folder or the admin center, Exchange admin center, take a screenshot number 9, public folder. Take a screenshot number 9, public folder. So unified messaging is normally obsolete, and hybrid is the configuration for. You want to connect local Exchange server to cloud, then the hybrid configuration is there. Unified messaging is related to meetings and conferences there. But it's actually obsolete because Skype for Business or Teams is there now for meetings and conferences, right? So public folders is so just take a screenshot here and name it public folders. Screenshot 9 equals public folders. We still have 1.5 hours, guys. Don't worry. So public folders, folder, public folder. Then I'm going to go for a mail server here. Equals screenshot 9 public folder. Ouch. So phone not connected. Okay. Yeah, it's good now. Okay, so screenshot has been taken here, and so there's that unified messaging, and that is just dial-up plans, but it has been already discontinued from its retired February 2020 already. So, but it's the Teams or Skype for Business normally that does that. And we have hybrid here. So hybrid is just if you want to connect the local Exchange server to this ExchangeOnline, then there is a hybrid deployment. There you have to connect the Exchange with internet, local Exchange server, and then you can use this connector to connect the local Exchange server to this Exchange server here online. So, well, now we're gonna start another topic. It will be just 1.5 hours more, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna be free early from before 10 o'clock. We're gonna be free today earlier. That is 9:30, right? So we're gonna be earlier, right? Okay. Okay. So yeah, these are the priceless reactions there. So okay, upload. Sir, okay. I think yeah, there's too much projectiles coming my way. Dash, ouch. Okay, upload. Hopefully your upload link for project is also there now, guys. And I have to. Thank you and good night. Go ahead and upload the screenshots, but I think I did not put that uploaded already. Oops, I did not. So I'll be creating that. Wait and. So guys, next week is your final quiz, and everything we discussed till now, since midterm, will be coming there. Same format. Alright, thank you. Upload week 14. Hey guys, so upload now, refresh week 14 and upload now, and see you next class. Thank you, and see you on Thursday. Alright, thank you, bye bye.